So theoretically, it should be a small glitch that should hammer itself out fairly rapidly. So to pick up where we left off, you guys can discuss the D&D campaign some other time with each other. Um, so you guys headed to Alexandria because Lucifer's intel said the last place he found a confirmed report of the Golden Fleece you're looking for was in the Library of Alexandria before it was lost.
So
So you headed to Alexandria to see if you could figure out what happened to the library and see if the fleece was still there. Obviously, that was far too easy, and of course, the fleece couldn't have just been there.
of course not.
Because this wouldn't be a campaign if the fleece was there. So, getting to Alexandria, you ended up stumbling upon a conspiracy of Nazi mages, basically. And did find that the Library of Alexandria had submerged underneath the ocean just off the coast. You headed there only to get pulled out by the current head of the mages, uh, who wasn't the head of the Nazi mages. That was a break that had happened in their group. I might actually one of these days, Ryan, just give you a hey, you go there. Hey, it's actually there. Hey, we go home. No enemies, no nothing, just a dick with you. So
Perhaps a basket of puppies.
Well, it'll be the Ark of the Covenant because everyone was dumb enough to look upon it.
So the mages said they could help you figure out where the fleece was, but of course nothing's free, especially because of the fact that you're working with Lucifer, and they'd honestly rather throw you into an active volcano than help you. You got the impression there was a little bit of a personal issue there between them and Lucifer. So they let you know that they would help you if you sorted out the Illuminati's fuck up underneath the mansion in Northern California that you had found the door to, which is somehow destabilizing the planet's ley lines at the moment. And basically, if you found a way to stop it from destabilizing the ley lines, then you could actually, then they would at least tell you what they knew of the fleece. And Ryan actually made a contract out of that to guarantee they didn't go back on their word to do that. Which means they will tell you what they know about the fleece if you can stop the destabilization of the ley lines. And that is where we ended last time. You guys do know which door they're talking about, the seriously sealed door in the mansion you couldn't figure out how to open last time.
Without getting through it, but we determined maybe we shouldn't open this door. Some things are better left unknown.
Yes, and because of all the security on it, you decided it might be better not to try to force the damn thing. The Illuminati are not perhaps known for their their not overkill security measures.
They're known for locking doors so secure they're intended not to be opened. Ever. Forever.
So, and that's where we pick up, as you guys had just been dropped off back on the yacht after you had your chat with the mages.
Why do I have a hunch that opening that door is a better idea than getting through it? There's always a way through a door. Whether or not it's intact afterwards is, always up for question. I like being able to lock a door that secure once again.
Yeah. So especially from what they've been saying, we don't want whatever it is, if there's something down there, to get out.
And I recall rather nonchalantly and abruptly being cut off with a teleportation spell once I suggested it was some form of abomination.
He shrugs. Yeah, the mages usually tend to know more than they say. I'm guessing he probably is hoping we'll stop the destabilization of the ley lines and get killed in the process.
Yeah, probably.
I'm sure.
Then he doesn't have to fulfill his deal.
She looks at you and you, Alex. I assume you made sure that he'll have to follow through on his deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Fantastic. I was kind of hoping you would think of that. Well, at least we know that if we do come back alive, they can't screw us.
It's the coming back alive part that might not be easy.
That's why we get hazard pay, sort of. Right?
She looks at you and shrugs. Have you actually gotten paid? Because I haven't in a couple 100 years.
Wolf scowls rather vehemently at the floor, rather. Well, not yet.
Yeah, it's the not yet part that keeps coming up for hundreds of years.
Yeah. Be nice if you throw a bone at us every now and then. Or at least a can of tuna.
And to be fair, I've been able to buy whatever I want, so.
Yeah. But more of that later. What's the use?
He shrugs. So, anyone have any ideas how we're going to get through the door we couldn't get through?
Yes, but you're not going to like it. So
Without
other
using
things then.
Displacement grenade.
That was not even plan B, for the record. It is a plan, but I like other plans more. Haven't come up with them yet. Still working on them.
So you don't have a plan. Translation.
Maybe we can go through the top.
Yes, and while we're up there looking for an access route through the top, we could use the ventilation ducts. Because they always make them big enough for a person to slip through.
Going through the top actually isn't that bad of an idea. When we went up one floor above it, there was nothing to suggest that there was some sort of barrier or something to prevent entry.
Except maybe a really bitchin' and indestructible roof.
Thermite?
Thermite. A tank shell didn't penetrate the walls of that mansion.
Well, yes, the walls of the mansion, but you can only put so much armor between one floor and another. There's not much space there for them to work with. And they have to keep the basic structural support of the floor intact, and the walls would have to be able to support the roof of it. So it can't be very heavy armor, assuming they even bothered to armor it at all.
Rami shrugs. He has a good point. Besides, we would need to use thermite. We have a plasma cutter charge. Significantly hotter than thermite, can burn through much more dense materials.
Did you just assume the phase gender? Because something about this screams social justice warrior, but I just can't put my thumb down on exactly what I should be screaming about.
Well, I can just switch it whenever I want.
That's not the point.
I mean, these pants are a bit tight for it, but...
Now, of course, the flaw with cutting through it with a plasma charge is the same thing that Wolf brought up. We can't close the door after us.
Yeah, and that's even worse because there's a big hole.
We can make a small hole.
You know,
Big enough for maybe a cat to go through.
I'm not going on solo.
Just because there might be an abomination down there, just because we might think it's big, it could be the size of a cat. Could be the size of a worm for all we know.
The worm?
Ami looks at you. Do you have any better idea than blowing a hole through it? Because right now I'm leaning towards blowing a hole through it.
I'm actually going to have to agree with the map on this one.
So,
I mean, there's also a vague chance that there's a door somewhere on the inside, or some sort of mirror or something, and I could try and find us a path through the hedge, but that has its own dangers.
or we could make somebody who gave us a We have a small contact in the way of getting into an Illuminati source.
What are you getting at exactly?
Remember the asshole that we came across at the airport, at the abandoned airport? He owes
You
us
say-
a favor.
Right. And I imagine he would absolutely love to help us cover up an Illuminati fuck up by determining what exactly it is.
Yeah, and
Hang on. Let me give him a phone call on speed dial because I absolutely have his number in my phone. Oh, wait. Asshole is actually just. Oh, that's Dad. Never mind. It's a compliment to the family. Don't worry about it.
However, I'm pretty sure we could persuade him to help us.
Snark aside, I wasn't kidding about the speed dial. He's not here. How would you contact him?
The Illuminati aren't exactly subtle. We go back to New York City and go figure out where they're at. I can guarantee he'll show up at one point if we start poking around in their business.
Ayami, you wouldn't happen to know if Lucifer has the one speed dial? Or at least
I'm
a way to set up some
pretty
kind of
sure-
Illuminati-themed bat signal?
Well, I'm pretty sure his definition of a bat signal for them is a giant middle finger in the air, but yeah, Lucifer has a way of contacting their higher-ups. Now, there's always a catch involved with asking them for anything, but if this is their fuck-up and it is fucking up the whole planet, well, they have a vested interest in not dying if the planet explodes, so...
Might as well get them involved, and they have a little more information about what they did.
Oh, they probably won't give us any information about what they did, but we'll at least probably get a key to the door.
Or how to open it without dying.
Or at least somebody's hand in a jar to open it.
If you want, I'll call Lucifer and see if he has a way of contacting someone and if they'll be willing to help. No guarantees they will, but...
It seems a lot more likely to work than trying to sniff around for Illuminati bullshit in New York City.
She pulls out her cell phone and flips it open. A key card actually falls out of it.
Thank you, I think. I'm gonna go over and pick it up and look at it.
How about that?
He just looks around. You know, it's really not that impressive when you do that. Closes the phone. So, to California?
Sounds like a plan.
You never really leave, can we?
She walks towards the boat. He just does that to fucking show off.
I have to admit, I'm a little more amused than impressed at this point.
Same.
I
I'll be
approve.
right back. Supper got finished.
Okay.
I'll get more water.
I'll start thinking about what I need to eat for dinner because I just realized I have almost nothing in the house.
We're having a frozen pizza, so...
I actually thought of this today, and I was like, I walked by the frozen section and I bought a bunch of different frozen things because I was like, we're gonna forget. We need to make dinner. I'll just buy an array of frozen stuff and we'll make that.
I know what I can have. I have some canned soup and I can throw together a sandwich.
Soup and sandwich, that works. Luckily, it seems like the little flickers are getting more minor and less common, so it looks like they're stabilizing. I also have the information up on their shards, and the shards are less and less often going down, so it looks like they're stabilizing whatever the hell happened with their servers.
I'm betting it's a DDoS. Largely because that's my first guess whenever there's a problem.
Yeah, there were like 3 or 4 of their server shards that kept going down, like just randomly, and now it looks like there's only 1 or 2 that keep flickering.
Hooray!
So it looks like they're slowly stabilizing shit.
So did they give us any sort of timeline on when this needed to be taken care of, by the way?
What the
Yeah.
just that it was fucking up the planet and deal with it.
Okay.
So the answer is no. They didn't really specify a time. The mage didn't really say anything on the matter. Just deal with it, and then you get your information type thing.
So, in the interest of not, completely fucking over the group, do you think a week is a reasonable amount of time for us to have it done by?
Probably.
Well, because I'm actually going through and crafting the pledge, just so I can have everything set correctly in case it actually comes up.
And back.
Oh, god damn it, Wolf! I still haven't set up your token. Let me do something about that. Oh, the server's glitched right at the moment. That's why I can't do it. Oh, that's new. They changed something. Now it automatically... They've changed it so that if we change anything while the servers are down, it will update it when the servers come back up.
So it's
That's nice.
automated now.
Yeah, I just didn't lose... I was just putting you guys' tokens on the map sheet, and I didn't lose the tokens. So even if the servers go down while we're doing the dungeon, it will just update the online version once the servers come back up.
Nice.
So a temporary disturbance. Okay.
Not even that. We can actually change things, and then it will just update the server-side version. So they've changed it because they know that it's going up and down so often. We don't even lose anything.
Okay.
So from our end, basically nothing will change. That's awesome.
Yeah, the only time it would happen, I think, is if everybody crashed for one reason or another.
Okay, so anyway, you guys take your fancy jet all the way over to California and back to a very familiar mansion.
And on the flight back, Alex and Wolf watch Schindler's List, and everyone's welcome to watch.
Is the flight that long?
It's as long as we need it to be, remember?
I know, but in this case, how long do we need it to be? Do we show up right as the credit rolls?
Yeah, the plane starts its landing sequence just as the credits start rolling.
Nice.
Perfect.
Wolf, sorry, not Wolf. Nathan, by the way, did not actually get on the plane, but Ayami did. Nathan said he had some things he has to take care of.
Okay, I have my pledge crafted from both ends. Awesome.
All right, so you guys head in then and head to the door.
No
Yep.
cowboy
So
on
which
the
of-
outside this time, right?
No, there is no cowboy outside this time.
Good.
So which of you is carrying the key card?
Me. Because I picked it up unless somebody took it from me.
Wolf wouldn't object.
Just something I need to know for purposes of the dungeon, basically. So as you guys approach the door, it just slides open.
I'm gonna be sitting there with like the card in my hand, ready to slide it, and then just kind of stare at the door. Well, that's not good.
And that's when everyone notices that Wolf just happened to teleport gun in the hand, and he's basically presenting it, expecting shit.
I reach
Are you
for
kidding?
my-
Are you kidding? When I walk up, I have my bow in one hand and my other hand in a sack of salt. We've been here before. We know what's here.
Wolf has a habit of walking around with a gun not in his hand. It's always ready.
So through the door, now that it's open, you see there is a massive like vault blast door actually behind it. Like there's a small room, and then there's a huge vault door.
So I'll walk up to the door.
There is a card reader on the right side of it.
Okay, I'll slide the card.
As you do so, basically 5 separate vault doors end up opening in front of you at final tally.
What a colossal waste of resources, potentially. I mean, if they get through one, won't they just get through the next eventually?
Well, not necessarily, but really, it's more about why would you tie all of them to the same key card?
That's kind of silly as well. Be a little more concerned if there were 13 of them.
It's possible this is a master key card.
Or it's just supposed to keep things in, not things out, which is worrying.
Probably
Well,
like
what
me
else
too.
What else did you expect?
Yeah, as you look around on the inside, there is no key reader on the inside of the door.
No latch, no handle, nothing really to interact with.
Well, the vault doors slide into the wall, like you can't actually see them, but like there's no panel on the inside where you could slide a key card to unlock the door from the inside.
That's vaguely worrying.
Only vaguely.
So ahead of you is just a standard metal door, basically. It doesn't look like it's particularly secure or anything.
Well, that actually is somewhat reassuring. And she'll actually just like walk up to the door and coming?
Well, yeah.
Is it a push door or a pull door?
Push door.
Push door open. I almost said that without asking. What's that in the corner?
In the corner are 2 of what look like double-barreled turrets of some kind. You don't see any belts of ammo going into them, though.
That's less than reassuring. Do I see empty ammo boxes?
You don't see ammo cases or shells at all.
I'm going to pull out an arrow and just toss it into the room.
Both turrets nail it with a blast of energy.
I'm down 1 arrow.
Yeah, that arrow's gone.
Yeah, it just vaporizes in the air, basically.
Well, damn, didn't see that coming.
So I'm gonna step like around the, and not like around the door, but I'm gonna look kind of near the door. Is there like a keycard slider or something?
There is not.
I wouldn't exactly suggest throwing the key out there to determine whether or not they'd shoot it down. But I'm more likely to walk away from that injury healing a little bit quicker than you. Wolf holds out a hand. If I could have the key card for an experiment.
She kind of looks at you and shrugs and hands it to you.
There's only two things in this world that really burn my ass. The first thing is a flame about this high, and the second thing, and he just walks out there, ready to dive backwards.
Nothing happens. Actually, both turrets, you hear them like slowly hum and just like shut down.
Thought so. She holds her hand up back up for the key card. Want to see if they shoot you if you give it back?
No.
She takes a step into the room just to prove a point that they probably shut down.
Alex immediately steps back because maybe if the keycard's not in the room, it's
They don't.
entirely possible.
Iami
Well-
pushes past and walks over to one of the turrets.
Wolf will walk over to the other. I'm looking for a way to. It's disabled. It's shut down, but I want to disable it.
I think we might need an Ayami token if she's going to be active and aggressive.
I will give that easily.
So I'm
I
gonna
have
take a look
arbitrarily
at these-
decided here. Also, in hindsight, as I walk up to it, I say, I really wonder what makes this thing tick, yet at the same time, I'm wondering if disabling it is a bad idea. Because if our objective is to keep the shit in here, or other things in here, this might not shoot at us. What about something else that we don't want to be in here?
Wow, lots of teleporting tokens.
Yep. I was like, I have this feeling that we're all standing where we're supposed to be, but not quite yet. And there we go.
Yeah, I'll just be at the other one.
So I'm gonna look a little warily at the guns, and then I'm gonna duck under the desk and take a look at these computers.
Computers have power just like the lights do, but there's nothing up on the screens basically.
Is there any way to get them to boot up?
They're booted up. It's just they're basically on the home screen. Think about it, they're on the desktop basically.
No, they do the super spy thing where they remove the polarized cover, so you need a polarized lens to actually view the screen itself.
Or normal glasses, because normal
This too.
glasses are polarized.
This too.
I'm guessing the guns attached to these do not have triggers.
No, they're just attached to the turret. He's looking at one of them. High energy laser. Looks at you, Wolf. Probably good that actually worked. I'm guessing this would have pretty well vaporized a very large chunk of your torso.
Yeah. I mean, it would cauterize, but that heals slowly.
I'm more interested in what the hell are they keeping in here that this is necessary security.
Well, I'm not sure it'd be what they consider necessary, just what they consider, the right amount of overkill.
There is no such thing as overkill. Just reload and resume fire. At least the Illuminati got that right.
Okay, if I can't find anything on these computers, I'm gonna walk up to the door and push it open.
And unfortunately, it looks like they're perfectly willing to look into shit like the Necronomicon itself, for all I know.
So there seems to be a lift at the end of the corridor.
I'm gonna look at the walls on either side of this corridor. Are there like any sort of emitters?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Looks just like solid concrete walls.
Okay.
Hang on.
Because I'm actually going to stay up here and see if I can't make contact with Lucifer. We may need some backup for this.
You know what? Guys, hang on just a second. I need to satiate my curiosity. Might this be wasteful? Maybe, but I feel obligated. And I will cast Find the Hidden Bullshit. Give me a second to throw dice. Got my mandatory one success. Is there something hidden like a cache?
Do me a favor. I'll tell you what to roll in just a second. Give me a wits plus composure roll, actually. This is
Okay.
as you're channeling your spell, okay?
Of course. Okay. Two successes.
As you start to channel it, you notice out of the corner of your eye the turret closest to you is starting to pan towards you.
I will stop doing that. And
You don't
as I'm
lose your
doing,
essence.
huh? I don't lose my essence. Okay.
No, you did it early enough. You just canceled the use, basically.
Yeah, I start the channel and then I point at it, and shout, "No, bad turret! Very bad turret! Holy shit!" And then he walks out of the room. No, don't do what I was going to do.
Amy shrugs. Guessing they don't like mages here very much.
Hey,
Some-
not a mage.
Yeah, but maybe it's similar enough. Something to check, because my stuff's a little bit different. And knowing whether or not we have an emergency way out, she's actually, are these like sealed in the center, or do the two doors meet? Or do they have that post in the center?
There's not a post in the center. The two doors just kind of close together, basically.
Okay, she shuts the doors, knocks, spends a point of glamour, and opens them back up. Does it actually pop up into the hedge?
It does not.
Does the... Okay.
But the concrete in the walls basically, like, you see little flakes of crystal in the walls glow when you try to do it.
That's worrying. I'm used to having a way out.
Looks like this place might be attempted to be warded against magic.
Attempts
not-
nothing. They don't want me doing anything in there, and she just can't do it.
That's not warding against magic. That's on a completely separate level. This isn't mortal magic. This is not connected to your world.
I was going to try to see if I can shift.
Okay, put in those words. Now I am more concerned. How
You
the
can
fuck do
shift.
they know that much?
Okay.
Never mind. This just sounds silly saying that about the Illuminati. It's in the name.
Ayami actually looks to you right. I actually have a theory on that. I'm guessing they didn't. I'm guessing they got lucky, which is actually worse because you remember when the plane crashed, right? Well, when the plane
Yeah.
attempted to crash. It was because of an energy leak, basically. I'm thinking that leak is actually still going on down there.
That's not
There's
good.
actually a open rift to the ley lines, and it's impregnating this entire building with energy. That's why you can't open a doorway out of here.
No, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. If there's too much interference, it couldn't establish a connection.
I'm guessing if you tried to open it from one doorway inside the facility to another doorway inside the facility, that would probably work.
No,
But you
that
need
makes
to
sense.
go. So that's not good. That means there's an open hole to the ley line somewhere in here.
And what is in a ley line? Or what comes from it?
Pure energy. As in the purest energy. You know when I used the water from the Fountain of Youth to heal you guys? That's distilled ley line energy into the water. And it's something like a 0.001% amount of energy in the water. And it can heal almost anything. Pure ley line energy is insane.
It would be apocalyptically bad were that to, right, destabilizing reality itself. Does that sound about right?
If it wasn't sealed back up again, yeah, probably.
Right. Well, don't expect me in a hazmat suit anywhere near that anytime soon. Soon to go tango with a black hole.
She's just, come here, actually, all four of you, if you're going down there. She pulls a auto injector out of her boobs. Promptly gives a shot into each of you.
So, I'm assuming that's not some sort of horrifying poison. What's it do?
It'll give you 24 hours before your body start having let's just say less than good reactions to being in close proximity to ley line energy.
Ooh, radiation sickness.
Basically.
Yeah, radiation sickness from hell. I would recommend not being in here when that wears off.
I am kind of wondering about something, though. She's actually going to walk up to one of the walls, place a hand on it, and attempt to harvest glamour from it.
You can.
Yeah, I figured that might be the case. So she's just going to, stock up, because why not?
Yeah,
I
these
mean,
walls are,
I don't know why you're prepared for this, but I'm okay with this. No complaining here. How much other shit do you have?
the
You know
vault
what,
that
that's a
I
long
have
list.
in there is approximately the size of Texas, and it's pretty much filled.
Suck up to Lucifer more. Got it.
Yep.
Wait. So you're saying you have cleavage the size of Texas?
I do. And it's very helpful. Now get down the fucking lift.
Right.
Heading down,
And
heading
then-
down.
As he's walking, he pulls out a cell phone and sets a timer. She said 24 hours.
Yes.
He sets his for 22.
Wee, full glamour.
So the lift goes when you hit the switch on the side, it goes down one floor. It's a fairly simple lift. There is literally two buttons. There's one up, one down.
I'm not gonna lie, Dark Souls has trained me that I kind of want to send the lift back up and look at the thunder.
Unfortunately, Ryan, I haven't seen a campfire in a really long time. Have you?
It's been a while. Especially not one that's still burning.
And
Oh,
yet,
yeah,
to
yes,
Wolf,
sir.
that's reassuring.
So standard
So-
T junction. There's another set of metal doors to the right, and then the passageway continues to the left.
So what do you think? Doors or hallways?
Let's check out the door and see if it's locked or anything.
I like hallways first, because there isn't a door around over here. Damn it, people.
You've been outvoted.
Anything significant about the door?
Wolf stands his ground.
Fairly just standard door, just like the ones up there. It has a lock, but it's just a standard metal key lock, basically.
Looks like we're coming back to this one.
However,
Oh,
as
yeah.
you approach, the door actually, like, you hear the lock mechanism open.
Okay, this
Let's-
is getting creepy.
I'm going to throw stealth and then advance down this direction for a peek, but throwing stealth.
I am also going to throw stealth and spend glamour on it because fucking why not?
What's the stealth roll again?
3 successes.
Stealth and dex?
That sounds
Yeah,
right.
usually.
It's stealth plus dex.
Yeah, I get 3 successes and then scurry that direction as they were approaching the door. Nothing
Alright,
at
you
all.
look down the corridor. It's just an open corridor with another junction at the end.
I might as well stack everything because free glamour here. Well, I have to double check the roll for something. I believe it's manipulation weird. So, intelligence. That one's wits. Okay.
Peeking around that corner. And that's when I just go backwards, unless there is nothing up there.
No, it's just door plus another hallway.
Don't split the party.
Wow. So she's trying to activate a contract. There we go. And here's the other one. So we got Never Tread going. We have my plus 3 dice to stealth going. I'll dump a 3 glamour on that, get plus 6. So that is a 14 stealth. Watch me roll fucking nothing with 9 again.
How much goddamn glamour do you have now?
I can pull it out of the walls.
I know, but still, like, what's your cap?
12, but I can spend 3 at a time.
Okay.
All right, so you're all stealthed up. By the way, the door is a push door.
At least 3 of them are stealthed up.
So does it sound like the lock stopped?
Yeah, it seems like the lock just turned and unlocked.
I will push it open.
Ooh.
I'm going to go ahead and sneak up and peek into the room.
Ditto.
The
What
room
the
is
goddamn-
just like covered in blood.
The room I'm looking at is black.
Why?
Did you move your token off the... Did he move it off of the thing, or... His token's not there.
What the hell did you
Hit
do?
that
Where's
finger
your
M.
token?
It's the second time it's disappeared on my screen, by the way. I don't know if it's happened on his, but it's the second time it's disappeared on my screen.
Yeah, you somehow deleted your token.
That would explain why his room's black.
So this is what the end is.
Yep. There you go.
Hooray, Trevor exists again.
I see nothing. Still.
What? You're in the wrong
Nothing.
place on the map. You're here. Look on the bottom right-hand corner.
No, I was zoomed out all the way. There was nothing.
There should be.
Now, I am okay.
It's like
There you
it has. I was like, has sight represents Torin. Yeah. Must have just been a delay once I put it up before your computer registered it was there.
Just
All
later,
right.
Wolf winks back into existence and resumes walking as if nothing happened.
So there's blood everywhere?
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna
Okay.
look at
I'm gonna-
I'm gonna walk over here really quick because I saw something on the floor.
I'm gonna death sight to see if I can get a gauge on how violent these deaths were.
Interestingly enough, nobody died in this room.
Huh.
What can I tell about the room looking around?
There should have been a lot of people dying here. There's enough blood on the floor to account for at least 5 people dead.
Going to throw intelligence and investigation. How about 5 successes?
There should be 10 people dead in this room, Trevor, from the sheer amount of blood loss.
Yet, for all this information, Wolf is just gradually looking more and more confused.
Does he say anything?
The hell are the bodies? There's damn near a dozen people who should have died.
Yet no one has died in this room.
What?
So I'm gonna look at this.
It's a Glock 9mm with a laser sight, and it is just surrounded by empty casings. And there's a very large blood pool behind it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the gun.
I'm actually going to tap into the emotion around here, and is there any fear for her to grab? Because that's actually something that could be story helpful.
What do you mean? Was there fear in this room?
Yes.
Fuck yes, it's like overwhelming the amount of terror that was in this place.
Okay. So I will just go ahead and mark that back up. Well, there's certainly a lot of emotion left in the room, a lot of fear and terror. And
Get the sinking feeling that the longer I spend here, the worse it's going to be for all of us. Anyone else want out?
By the way, Ryan, does that just detect all emotions that were really strong in the room?
So it's part and parcel of a changeling's ability to feed on emotion. They can feed on any emotion, so I imagine they would be able to.
There's also a huge amount of rage in the room.
Fear and anger. Though out of character, she'd be way more sensitive to fear because that's part of Autumn Court.
Yeah, but yeah, there's just like the walls are dripping with fear in this place, and yeah, there are 4 empty magazines and just a bunch of spent rounds all over that gun.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm assuming it's cold. And all of this is reasonably old, right?
Yeah, the gun itself is cold.
And the bloodstains are dry.
Yes. And the magazine is empty, by the way.
Figured as much.
So that's 5 total magazines, basically, that were expended.
No pockmarks in the walls?
Nope.
So 5 magazines expended, right? So that's how many bullets, give or take?
Give or take, it's about probably 60 or 70 rounds.
See. Curiosity, what kind of rounds does it fire?
Hollow point 9mm.
Okay,
Well, 9mm in general is what it fires.
fair.
So I'm gonna take a look by the door here.
By the way, specifically 90 rounds have been fired is the exact total.
I'm gonna take a look by the door here and see if there's anything interesting I can see.
Just bloodstains basically all over the place.
Are all these beds?
Yes, they're all actually bunk beds.
I want to search them.
Okay.
I will
the one
also search.
The one you're standing next to, you actually find a cell phone, Joe.
Ooh. Is it dead?
No, it still has battery charge. It comes to life when you hit the power button.
Ooh, I'm gonna hand it to our computer person.
Okay.
Actually, I'll inspect this bed.
You find some extra kind of clothes strewn around in there's a footlocker basically at the head of the bed. It seems like this bed was used by somebody who was in the security personnel.
So what's on the phone that I have?
Just fairly standard stuff. There's some contacts. Recent text message going out. It seems like he was telling his son that his long business trip was going to be over soon. He'll be coming home the next day.
When was this?
That was about 2 weeks ago.
When was it we were last here? In game?
I believe you guys were there about. Sorry, it was longer than that. It was 4 weeks ago. Was the text message because you were there 2 weeks ago.
And the phone still has a charge?
Yep.
What?
Is it a Nokia 3310?
No.
It's an Illuminati bullshit phone running off those same crystals in the walls.
Say
Clearly.
the energy leaked into the lithium.
While they're looking through the phone, I'll briskly go over the other beds and see if I can glean anything else interesting, useful, or otherwise.
Looks like this was just the place that the personnel for this facility slept if they needed to stay here for any length of time. There's nothing particularly interesting in any of the other beds.
Okay. Nothing special about the bloodstains in general, just larger
Just
pools
lots
of
of blood, yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually step in that.
All right, interesting question for the PI, because you'd noticed this. Do these look like splatter patterns from bullets, or
The answer to that, you already rolled your thing, so no, they do not look like the spatter patterns from bullets. This looks like being something torn apart, basically. That kind of spatter, like blades, things of that nature.
So cast off.
Yeah, it's all cast off. It doesn't look like there's any blood spray from bullet hits.
Do you mention that like aloud?
Yeah. I will mention that now. Well, for what it's
So-
worth, bullets didn't cause that. These were torn to. Well, it's more the pattern of someone being torn to ribbons, slashed apart, etc.
And 90 bullets didn't stop them. Stop whatever it was.
Part is they kept firing. 90 bullets is not something you just fire off unless you're at a shooting range, methodically as hell.
Yep. Well, that's not disconcerting at all. She takes one more glance around the room and starts walking down the hallway.
I feel like leaving this area too. Sounds like a good plan. At least in Dead Space, you could at least fire at them and they would, in theory, fall down occasionally. It's not like a Reaper. And he does the air quotes.
I'm sorry, a what?
Reaper, but we've already dismissed that claim. And then he continues walking.
That was terrible.
She just kind of looks at you for a couple seconds.
The only Reaper your character would have heard of is a Grim Reaper. That
Yeah,
was a legend in the Middle Ages. Your character would have heard of those.
We
Well-
did mention a Reaper the last time we were here, and that if it got out, we would be dead.
well, she would probably be more familiar with the term reaper, as in a dude who goes out and reaps grain. You know, reaping what you sow. Do you mean like a Grim Reaper, or
A biomechanical abomination that can indoctrinate people with an electrical impulse at a distance far greater than miles. It's Mass Effect. You should play it sometime. Highly recommend it. Terrifying, but very good story.
if you say so?
Another
Better than
door.
Dead Space, trust me.
This door, by the way, doesn't have a lock on it.
Is it also a push door?
Yep.
I can give it a little nudge.
Is this a janitor's closet?
Yes.
It's a really big janitor's closet.
Is there anything in the bucket?
Just water with the mop in it. There are all sorts of cleaning chemicals and stuff on the shelves.
What
Any
kind of
boilers?
cleaning chemicals?
All sorts of things. Bleach, various things you'd expect in a janitor's closet.
Ammonia?
Yep.
My character does not possess this knowledge. Just saying. Just saying.
Right. Well, boring. And he starts leaving.
Is this a shop vac?
Yes.
I'll open the lid, see if there's anything interesting in.
So happy they have an icon for a shop vac.
There's nothing interesting we can do with any of these, are there? I mean, I've heard of people doing homemade bombs and such, but
Look. You probably shouldn't play with those chemicals. Besides which, play with other more interesting things this direction, probably.
calling it now, their one weakness, chlorine gas.
Are generally vulnerable to that.
Well, hopefully we don't have to fight weapons.
Okay.
No, we have to fight the things from evolution.
I have no idea what that is.
It was a movie. It turned out the aliens were weak to one of the active ingredients in Head and Shoulders.
So another door. This one also unlocked.
Little push push. And watch it be a pull door.
Had that happened to be in New York, actually. It had a very obvious push bar, so I pushed against it and looked at the person on the other side like, really? And he just gave me this knowing nod.
Okay, so I take a step into the room.
So it looks
Yeah.
like some sort of a cafeteria, basically. The token you can see there is actually a body on the ground. Looks like dressed in a scientist's coat.
Right. Well,
And I still have death sight active, so is anybody else dying here?
Nobody's died in here.
Oh,
all right. Going to determine how many bullets should have been fired, how many bodies there probably should have been. Information we gathered from the previous area, basically.
And I'm gonna look at the body.
As you approach, its eyes start to glow.
Okay, now I'm gonna backtrack and say, guys.
Took a step over here first. And
I
then
knock a broadhead.
I raise my shotgun.
draws his revolver and turns around. What?
Which, by the way, was loaded with the fuck you rounds I had left. Because I assumed that would probably be a good case.
I had to abandon my shotgun in a sewer because Ayami lost her head a little.
Why didn't you just ask for a new one?
Because I was partially because I was given ammo.
Because he had other shiny new toys to distract him.
Yeah. I know that's
He
the
looked
actual
at-
reason.
He looked at all the ammo and the grenades he was given and thought, how the fuck am I going to carry all of this stuff anyway? Having a shotgun and all that excess stuff, not really going to happen. But yeah, I have cold iron rounds loaded in my gun because once we determined that there were crystals in there, Wolf said, fuck it, I'll just change the ammo later if I need to.
Okay.
So yeah, the corpse starts sitting up.
What? That's the thing. Yes, his actual reaction.
Ouch.
So everybody give me an initiative.
That's damn it, it's been a little while. What's composure?
Yeah. And then roll a d10 plus that. Yep. You're right, because you have an insane one.
Right, because I add my firearms to it.
Yep.
Yet his reaction, the verbal one, because he's putting more thought into his firearm, is it's a thing.
All right, so you're actually up first there, Tor.
Shoots. It's cold iron, but he's shooting. So, one shot.
I don't want to
See-
go last. I'm the closest to him.
Mostly because Wolf wants to see how it reacts to the cold iron, and he doesn't want to change it out immediately. Oh well.
Yay, bow, where I decide what to fire in a shot-to-shot basis.
Yep, because what you draw out of your quiver is what you shoot that turn.
Yay, quick draw for being able to do that.
Yeah, there is a serious advantage to a quick draw bow with the fact that you can just, on a round by round basis, decide which of your special arrows to shoot.
I should have asked before I fired. Does he have armor?
No. He's a
Okay.
scientist wearing a lab coat.
In either case, one success. Woohoo!
Alright, so you blow a nice chunk out of a little hole in him, basically. Wow, as little as a fucking magnum can.
I glance his hand. I guess. I don't know.
Where your bullet goes through, it actually starts glowing just like his eyes are, and you can even see the tissue starting to heal.
Iron is out.
So it's his turn. He is getting up and going towards the closest target.
Uh-huh.
Tyrion, by the way, since I was trying to shoot and determine what the bullet did, any chance I could throw intelligence occult and determine what the fuck happens with corpses? Or
You can absolutely attempt to throw intelligence occult.
ghosts be more appropriate? Or even monsters?
Nope. This isn't anything your character would have seen before.
Alright.
So this is just you trying to put together what you do know about occult things to see if you can figure it out.
Successes.
This doesn't seem to be behaving like you've heard of undead before, but this doesn't seem to be acting like them. They don't actually heal like that. They're just hard to put down because they're already dead, so they don't really need any of their vital organs.
Try disabling it.
So is there actually a role for grappling?
Yes, there is.
There totally is.
It should be on the roll sheet in Roll20 that I put up. I put up a general page in Bookshare and pinned it. Yeah, it should be on there. If it's not, I can find it.
Bookshare, I've got it up.
And as I shout that, I'll swap out my bullets for stun rounds.
If not, I have it. Because sticky notes are awesome, and this is why I put sticky notes on the pages I needed. So it is strength plus brawl minus the opponent's defense to get a grip.
Alright, so what's your defense? Because he's trying to grapple you.
My defense is 4. Wait.
And keep in mind, you could, if you were really freaking out, deny yourself your action this turn to double your defense.
Lesser of Dex and something, right? It's the lesser of the two.
Yeah, it's 4.
So are you going to deny action to try to double that, or are you just taking the 4 defense?
I'm just taking the 4 defense because she's going to be trying to ready her gun.
He got 1 success.
That's a grab.
So he has grappled you. I think that's his full action, is to grapple, though. You can tell, though, he's trying to bite you. Alex, you're up. By the way, by this point, the injury to his hand is completely healed.
Shooting into a melee. Shooting into a melee. Can you have a second? Because into a grapple, I think it's a -4. Well, I'm double checking real quick. Yes. Yes, because I'm trying to avoid hitting you, Nara. So yes, you penalize me by 4.
So
Because-
-4 penalty to try to shoot him.
Yep. Which pretty much wipes my bow out of the equation, but I still get 8 dice. That's not half bad. You know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and aim for the head because I suspect that this might be necessary. Minus headshot, I think, is a -2. Anybody else have anything on that?
It's a -2, yeah. To do a cold shot is what it's called.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a cold shot to try to hit a specific spot on the target.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember what the penalty for a head was, but I think an arm or leg is 2, so a head would also
Yeah.
fit for 2.
Arms, legs, and heads are all 2.
Ha!
So you put an arrow into his head.
Not a superly effective one, but hey.
So it basically just like hits along the side and sticks. Actually, that wouldn't stick in, so it glances along the side and cuts a nice chunk through it. For 1 damage, you think that's about right?
I think that's about right. I was hoping to take out his jaw, but
Yeah, 1 damage is not enough to do that. So instantly, glow starts forming in that cut. Serenity, you're up.
All right. What about melee? Like aims to the head. Is that still -2?
it's still -2. However, you are not rocking the -4 for shooting into a grapple.
Yeah, exactly. So you still take a -2 because you're still trying to hit a small moving target.
All right. Now I'm gonna take a monstrous claw and try to swipe him in the head. And a miss. Well, shit, I forgot to put my +2 on there for my +1.
Well, all right. So Alexis is up. You tried to take a nice chunk out of his head with your claw and missed. We'll just say, he's trying to bite into Nara, so you were really afraid of digging your claws into her, so you actually missed completely. Alexis, you're up, and you are being grappled by this thing.
Well, technically, I'm only being held.
Yes.
That is grapple.
He hasn't bit you yet, but yes, he has grabbed onto you.
Yeah. Although technically, in my head, the definition in outside of game of grappling on the ground is usually what they mean.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Does that make sense? That's where my brain was going with that.
He hasn't taken her to the ground yet. He's just holding on. So you're going to try to break out of it.
What's his strength? I have to subtract his strength.
Oh, you have to subtract his strength?
Mm-hmm.
His strength is 4.
Well, that ain't happening. Yes.
You could try and take his arm off. That's one way to get out of a grapple. I mean, you're only at a -2 for shooting because, well, no, you cannot use a long arm in a grapple.
Yeah, the shotgun is basically out of play.
So, if I wanted to use a dagger, for instance, how would that work? Do I have to be able to draw it first, or can I draw it and? Can
I believe you can pull the dagger.
While, oh god. So while in a grapple, you have to fight him to draw the weapon. So you hang on.
Right, you guys figure that out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you have to make a strength.
So I still have to break loose in order to do it, then, right?
Well, it allows you to
Oh.
draw a weapon instead of breaking loose. That's what it is. You can draw a weapon instead of breaking loose. Man, grappling somebody is fucking nasty now.
I know, right? Okay, I guess I'm doing a chance die.
Your strength plus brawl -4 is 0.
-3.
Damn.
That's impressive.
No, sorry, -4 because I get -1 because I don't have brawl trained and I have 1 strength.
Well, you know what? You were working with a chance die no matter what.
Yeah, pretty much. So roll your chance dice.
Don't roll a 1.
Percent chance of critical fail.
No one at least. So
Yeah.
you fail to escape the grapple, but you don't utterly fuck it up. He's just too strong and you can't get out of his grip.
Well, if you had 4 more points in brawl, that would have been a success.
So what did the rule, like you have to escape the grapple to do anything?
You can escape the grapple or perform a maneuver. Otherwise, you are locked down.
So you can't cast while grappled either?
No, I would imagine not.
Say.
I'd imagine you could, assuming you could just do it with a verbal.
Assuming it was verbal only, yes, because you can shout and scream. And if you just need to wiggle your fingers, maybe you could as well, assuming your opponent doesn't know that you need to wiggle your fingers.
Right.
So that was the end of your turn, Alexis, but at the end of your turn, your Geist is screaming at you to let her out to take care of this. So, Torin, you're up.
Going to step around here and attempt to shoot the thing with a stun round.
You're at -6.
God.
'Cause
Grapple and Jared's in close combat.
Could try to punch it. Not that it would do much.
Nope, I'll go with the other thing I was considering. I'm going to burn an essence, and suddenly there's a wolf-sized black cat just looming near the thing. And I'm gonna pounce the bitch.
I guess that works.
Wait, are you going to grapple it too?
So he's grappling the grapple.
There's a black cat involved in the grapple, who's probably going to win.
Oh god, those claws. Those claws.
Yes.
Picture 2 people wrestling and then throw a cat at that.
Well, watch those damn claws of yours.
Okay, strength plus brawl minus its defense, which I think is non-existent.
Yeah, it has no defense. I love that your character Ryan is just standing back with a bow watching this like fur ball.
This is an in-motion thing. He doesn't even bother putting away the gun, figuring, bullshit, it transforms with me, right? And then just goes into big cat form. Do I gain a +1 bonus die for having the claws, or is that... No, this is a grapple. I doubt that would actually apply.
Well, no, you're not attacking with your claws. You're
That was the pause.
Yeah, you're attempting to pin him.
So it's strength plus brawl.
Yep, and
Yep.
he has no defense, so it's just strength plus brawl.
Can't believe I have an
It's better than nothing.
So you are now grappling him, who is grappling Nora.
Yep. This is actually okay because he cannot attack unless he beats Trevor.
Yeah, he has to break out of Trevor's grapple because it's basically like you're trying to hold his head back as he's trying to bite Nara. That's literally what's happening here.
This is actually elegantly handled. I like this.
Yeah.
You jumped in and you're holding his head back because he's obviously trying to bite Nara while Jer is trying to claw the shit out of him while Ryan's standing back with his bow going, I ain't touching that shit.
And the most you can see beyond all this bullshit that's happening around you, Nara, is really just some pitch black terror with glowing red eyes looming behind it.
So I have to subtract your strength from his strength plus brawl, Trevor, to try to break your hold.
And big cat form, I have +2 strength, so that's a total of 4 for me.
So he gets 4 dice to try to break free.
He's got 4 strength plus brawl.
He has 4 strength, 4 brawl.
See, Nara, I told you should have dodged. You would have reduced him to a chance die.
Point. But then we wouldn't have learned this, to be fair.
I tried to help you.
He gets 0 successes, so he does not actually manage to break free of Trevor's hold.
See,
So he does nothing.
Alex, you're up watching this.
I think I have a knife. I do have a knife. I am going to just draw out the knife and, walk up. And that's it.
Alright, Serenity, you're up.
This time, I'm just going to try to bite a chunk out of him just to get wherever I can.
Don't swallow.
By the way, obviously, by this point, the head wound has healed. Alright, so you take a nice chunk out of his torso. As soon as you bite it out, glow starts healing it. Alexis, you're up.
I really needed to look into the spells before today, but I've been so busy I forgot. Oops.
How are you going to get to your book? Or your dagger?
Point.
You grappled to hell. You actually can't cast right now because of the limitations of your casting.
So she's just kind of look around at the other 3, to have a look of pity, and let Cat take over.
All right, so you all see the instant posture change on Nara's character, and just something gets screamed out in Latin as the blood pool behind turns into a bunch of daggers that fly directly towards the back of this thing.
Wait, is she making a weaponry attack in this shit?
And is not actually caring whether or not she hits you guys.
Back of the said thing.
Like, we're talking just a wall of daggers comes flying into this melee.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, how this is going to work out for everybody else.
She's hitting everyone that
Sorry,
isn't Nara.
guys.
Well, is she doing a spray and pray, basically?
Yeah, she's basically
Then
taking
Nara get-
she's taking a wall of daggers, throwing them at the back of this, and the only one she's attempting not to hit is Nara.
But to be fair, it's also herself. Don't forget, this is technically, it probably wouldn't hit herself.
No, she's firing a burst into a grapple. You hit everything.
Yeah, so she is hitting everything. Again, she is bringing just a wall of daggers into this grapple.
Like, I'm not even sure she could successfully avoid hitting Nara, but whatever. We'll see.
No, she hits Nara. I'm saying she's
Okay.
hitting everyone in the grapple. She was just attempting not to. So yes, everyone in the grapple is going to take a hit from this.
Fair enough.
Because she's taking that entire pool of blood, turning it into a group of daggers, and just embedding it into the grapple.
However, with the aim, it should technically only be me and Trevor that take the hits. Because
Well,
it's sounding to either side. What I'm saying
We're
is,
not in the grapple.
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be you, Trevor, and the Thing are all getting nailed with daggers.
Sorry, Trevor.
This is what I get for helping.
So you all take 8 points of lethal damage.
I'm unconscious.
If it makes you feel any better, the Thing drops too.
Is it still glowing?
Actually, no. Like, you can see, as the daggers come in, actually, to see the specifics of this, Ryan, you're at the edge. Ryan, give me a Wits plus Perception. Or Wits plus Composure. To see the details of what's happening, because it's actually important.
Will I be able
Nice.
to choose something to the side?
Yep, you could see it too. Give me a Wits plus Composure, Jer. Basically, you guys aren't in the grapple, so you're in a position to see. So, as the daggers start flying in, because this is just like a wall of daggers, the first couple that hit in and deal like chunks out, it starts glowing. But as it keeps going, more and more daggers, the glows start getting less and less for each injury, before finally this thing just drops.
Damn.
I'm
And I have
gonna.
first-hand knowledge. Those daggers.
When I get knocked unconscious, do I return to human form?
Yes.
So I actually took 8 damage, but I had 8 health, instantly revert to human, and then take 1 aggravated damage because of that?
If you lost a health box,
Yeah, I did. I lost 1 health box.
Yep. Yep. If it swings bad enough, a werewolf can die because they got dropped, even though they normally had enough health.
Yep.
So, by the way,
I'll actually just reflexively burn an essence so I'm not bleeding out, because bleed out is fast.
hold on.
Unconscious, he does it.
So your reflexive essence spent, by the way, heals 1 wound, right?
Yeah.
So
one
I'm
aggravated.
instantly back awake.
One.
Well, it means you
lethal.
never took that aggravated. So you went to nothing. You know, you have every box filled with lethal. You instantly spend the essence, right? At
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
time as you shift back.
Yeah, so you don't ever take the ag damage.
Okay.
And
However,
yes, you are conscious.
I was about to say, however, all your boxes are filled with lethal. So you're
And I'm
still in bad
unconscious.
shape.
I'm still technically unconscious as well.
You can be conscious and have all your boxes filled with lethal, I think.
It's a stamina roll. That's what I was
Yeah.
looking.
It's stamina to see if having all your boxes filled with lethal is enough. You can still stay conscious.
I
Yeah,
have
and also
1
since-
success.
That's
That's
enough.
enough. So, Trevor, you stay conscious.
Also, out of since we're out of combat now, you could just reflexively did another essence.
Burned enough. Well,
Oh, wait,
I'll
wait,
be
wait,
back.
wait. Let me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just a stamina roll to stay up. You're actually rolling 0 dice there.
Yeah, I know. I have to do a simple roll. Hold on.
I will be right back in that case.
You just get a smug there. You didn't get bit by the whatever the fuck that was.
You all of a sudden notice whatchamacallit, Alexis just kind of glare again and get this perturbed look on her face.
Gotta go help Nora start dinner. We'll be right back too. So 5-minute break.
Where did everybody go?
Break time.
Time. Purification food? Or what?
They called a 5-minute break. So those two went to grab food.
Okay,
Well, start food or something.
I'll be a few more minutes then.
Hey Ryan, is Sorcerer a Pathfinder class?
Yes.
Okay, I was just making sure I was looking in the right spot for the classes.
Well, do you have the link to the SRD?
No.
Okay. There you go.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course.
That's funny because this was the exact place that I was looking. I didn't realize that was the SRD.
Yes, that is the SRD. So if you look under core classes, base classes, alternate classes, and hybrid classes, and unchained classes, and occult classes, those are all theoretically classes you can pick from.
I have
Okay.
not yet looked through all the way yet to see if I'm going to allow
Theoretically.
everything. Again,
Yes.
this is still 6 months out, so I honestly haven't put as much thought into this as Ryan and Trevor have even.
I wouldn't get attached to anything outside the core classes and base classes.
Yes, because those are going to be allowed because they're core.
Yeah, like generally speaking, the base classes are just fine. I will say I totally think you should allow the Dragon Rider class because I looked it over several times and it's shockingly balanced. Like I'd actually go so far as to say that it's a little bit weaker than some of the others.
But yeah, it's still, I will be looking over it obviously over the next 6 months and get back to you guys. But yeah, as of right now, don't get too attached to anything that isn't going. You know, like if you're like, oh, I want to play a cleric. Well, it's a fucking cleric, of course. The only one that I've looked significantly into, the two I've looked into otherwise are I'm perfectly fine with Gunslinger and Alchemist because I've actually taken the time to read those because people have talked to me about them. So
Yeah,
So-
well,
so-
those are actually they're called base classes because they're from official Pathfinder
Oh.
supplemental books.
well, then it's not that big. But yeah, I looked over those. I have literally no issue with either of them for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still 6 months out. I'm still putting most of my energy into the campaign you're sitting in right now. You know, scientist zombies and things.
I was just asking because I was hearing talk about it, so I just wanted to get up on there so I could have everything ready, so I could actually have a good backstory this time.
No, yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it now, to be perfectly honest. You know, like, you can think about maybe a character concept, but this campaign is still going to go on for ages.
Oh yeah.
So Nara, I don't think
No.
letting your inner ghost out was actually necessary in any sense of the word.
To be fair, she was getting grappled and almost bitten, so it seemed like a good idea from her perspective. And she's kind
Really?
of scared of this thing. And she wanted
'Cause-
to regenerate.
Because Wolf had a hand on it, and honestly, we were probably about to rip that thing a new one.
Well, I went from Alexis's perspective. She honestly wasn't watching you guys all charge in.
No, I get that, but at the same time, you also now have a bunch of holes in you.
Yes.
See, we're both part of the being superpowered is actually not that great club.
I'm just glad I wasn't in that because if I would have took 8 lethal, we could have had a bad situation on our hands.
Yeah, not you not healing it. It's you going batshit doing it.
Exactly, because I had enough health to take it.
Yeah, but a raging werewolf in a grapple is bad news for everybody.
What rate do you actually heal lethal, by the way, Joe?
15 minutes.
1 per 15? Nice.
Yep.
There's Trevor back.
Leslie. Okay, now you can hear us.
So
All
good
right.
news, Trevor. You'll be fine in 3.5 hours.
Actually, you guys' wounds start closing very quickly.
Do they glow green?
They do not glow, but they are definitely closing quickly. Within 5 minutes, your wounds have healed completely.
Oh, that's so weird.
We're just chilling here. You know what? No. After dealing with pain like this in the past, because Wolf absolutely fucked up at least once with a werewolf. There were 2. He's gonna do a little meditation to cope with the pain. Get in touch with his animal spirit, if you will.
His inner pussy.
I hate you.
You walked right into that one, though.
I'll take a look at this assault rifle. It's on the ground.
Looks like what it is. It's an AK with a sight on top. Rounds all over the place around it, just spent cartridges.
Pain starts to recede to a little dull ache. Anyone care to explain what the hell that was? character. Bear in mind, he did not actually witness what happened to Serenity with the blood magic from the Geist.
What, the thing or the? And she gestures to both of us.
Or the poltergeist with the fetish for stabbing people with blood.
That one sounds accurate. That sits up with the chest and glares at Alexis.
What?
Huh?
I'm gonna call back over my shoulder. It looks like she panicked.
It ended up working out just fine. See?
I'll remember that next time I get burned for trying to help you out.
What about this pistol over here?
Similar is upstairs. Not as many rounds expended, but shell casings all over the place.
Does it also have a laser sight?
Yes.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Interesting that all these have laser sights. You'd think they'd have, honestly, just better marksmen.
Hey, Tyrion, might this be considered a locus or a place of spiritual power?
It is.
Is it easier for me to access than usual?
Yes.
I was wondering if anybody else would pick up on my glamour trick.
Wolf didn't have an excuse earlier. And now with him thinking, oh shit, this pain, how do you manage pain? Okay, maybe the meditation technique. Then a minute or two of attempting, do you think you could just glean some quicker?
Yeah.
Alright then.
But yeah, after about 5 minutes, all of your wounds have healed.
On their own.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but werewolves pretty much run off ley line energy. I think that's what essence is.
I had to look it up. And also determine what I was doing necessarily to do that. Like, okay, I get it, I'm meditating, but what's so special about this meditation? And I have done zero reading up on werewolves.
What is the cap of our resource like? Because I know
It's going to be based on your primal heart.
Okay.
Because mine's based on my weird. I'm guessing your primal heart is 1.
Yeah, at the moment it is. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, so how would we go about replenishing ours? Like meditation, or can I go up against the wall and rub myself on it?
I mean, if you find a corner, but I imagine the flat wall would be rather difficult.
But yeah, a couple minutes of meditation in here will regenerate you very easily. This place is, again, just saturated with ley line energy.
Awesome.
I gathered as much.
Yes. So basically, you meditate, roll harmony, and then gain as many essence as successes, and your the time it takes is a number of minutes, at least a number of minutes equal to the amount of essence points gained. As a general rule. In a place like this, I imagine you're going to be rolling Harmony plus like 10.
Yes, it is actually Harmony plus 10. Ryan got it right on the first guess.
I'm only down 2, so I'm really just laying there until I feel better.
Right?
So you got 3.
And that puts me at cap.
Really, I just kind of looked at it. If I only want 1 or 2, should we even roll?
Probably not. Not worth it.
Especially since mine takes a turn.
Yeah, Ryan, yours is especially because you don't even have to meditate. You just, okay, it's 6 seconds. Crap, I didn't get enough. 6 more seconds. Okay, there we go.
Thankfully, I can't dump mine to benefit me in combat.
Yes, so that's why I thought that wasn't actually broken when I designed this place. I did look
If
into
only I wasn't
that.
an ogre. If only I was an ogre.
Alright, so you guys doing anything else in here? You've checked out the rifle and the pistol.
Completely devoid of ammo, and otherwise similar to the previous room.
Yeah, it's obvious these guys emptied their magazines. Like, they just kept shooting.
And these are just cafeteria tables, right?
Yep. From the position of the guns and the blood spatter and stuff, you're guessing it didn't help them much.
No.
So it looks like what we need to do to keep these things down is just put enough hurt in them in a short enough period of time.
Yeah. But only slightly less hurt than that we got.
But see, we learned something.
Not really. That's sort of the default strategy for something.
Alexis just gets a sullen, bitter scowl.
Which she ignores.
This door looking unlocked too?
Wolf did
It
advance
does.
a little bit forward, but I'm curious about the thing that's in the cell.
It just actually walked through the wall. Same red glowing eyes, except she's fairly young, you're guessing just from size, about 12, maybe 13. And her whole body is just glowing.
I'm assuming that I should be throwing something to actually notice.
Well, you notice the glow. If you want anything more specific, you'll need to throw something. But
The thing is, Wolf was walking in the direction of the door. He wasn't looking behind himself.
good point. All right, if you guys want to roll wits plus composure.
Yeah, I was like, that makes sense.
1 success.
So you all hear her, like, walk
Gotta-
into the room through the wall.
I'm gonna turn around and see what's
Yeah.
up.
I'm going to turn around, grab that salt that I still have from earlier, and pour it in a circle around us. Last time we dealt with 12-year-old ghosts.
The shotgun at my... Wait, fuck! He actually says aloud. Salt, where's Salt? He starts checking his bags, he starts checking his things.
As she walks through the blood, you can see she's physically, like, you can see footsteps in the blood.
Can I roll
Fine,
something to
just-
see if I can tell what she is?
This
You
time,
can.
good thing I brought this for this building.
Wits plus
And
occult.
pours a circle of salt around himself.
Are both of her hands visible?
Yes.
Are either of them carrying a knife?
No, they're both just glowing like hell.
You said wits plus occult?
Yes,
Still
because
way better than we were before.
here I
Okay,
will
Tyrion.
actually show you the full picture of her because that's a very small image.
Is this a ghost? Or witchcraft or monster thing?
It is not. There you go.
Oh, she looks pissed.
Successes. So I'm
So
doing
just-
checked by putting salt around me to notice or think, apparently.
But just so you're aware, We had nothing to do with this. We came here later.
So this table actually starts to levitate as she lifts it up, basically.
Oh, come on. Don't do this.
I'm gonna prepare for if she throws it at us.
And table comes flying at you.
Yeah, I thought so.
Then I'm going
Third
to.
talk as I dive for the floor.
I'm gonna burn an essence and reflexively go into war form and punch it out of the sky.
If I see you go into war form, I'm just gonna duck behind you.
Same. That's why I moved.
Cover.
All right, so you smash this out of the sky. It's not exactly difficult. It's a wooden table, basically, and it's large enough you really can't miss it.
Is she
So
still
she's-
advancing?
Yes.
Not a good way to lead into a conversation. How about you tell us your name first? I'll start with mine. I'm Torin Wolf. As I stand up and dust myself, and then limbo backwards instead. Well, dive backwards.
I assume you
All right,
smashed
Ryan.
this one too.
Yes. Ryan, what's the rules for throwing?
Strength plus athletics.
Strength plus dex plus athletics is
Well, I'm gonna pick up the table in front of us and chuck it at her.
As you move forward and like bend over to pick up the table, you actually double over. She lifts her hand up. You can actually feel your heart getting crushed in your chest.
Really?
Yes.
Draw
You take
my
1 point of ag damage this turn just from it.
so I'm gonna stand in front of her, the big werewolf in war form, and glare at whatever she is. See what she does.
She uses the other hand to slam you against the wall.
I draw my pistol, Smith & Wesson, and I fire at her twice. This is getting dumb.
By the way, you take 4 bashing damage from getting slammed into the concrete wall.
That's a
Alright, Trevor, give me a roll.
Using standard rounds, because I don't know what I'm doing exactly. For the first attack, I have 4 successes.
Okay. And the next attack?
Three successes.
But your Geist is freaking the fuck out and isn't really saying anything. So it staggers her back a step and that breaks the hold on Jer's heart. However, as the bullets pass through, you blew 2 chunks out of her. The wound actually is closing behind the bullet. This is healing in milliseconds, basically.
I will stand up and look at them and start obviously reaching for a side pouch that previously had mentioned, this is where the fuck you grenade is. My turn has concluded, so other people should be acting.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide how to act. Because acting wrongly is usually worse than not acting in World of Darkness. I'll go ahead and step up. What do you want?
And table gets thrown at you.
Since the hold on main's broken, I'll smack it away from him.
used to this. He's going to dive to the floor again. His chest hurts.
No, I'm gonna step up and say, "You heard her."
You guys, we might not want to piss this thing off.
That's why I'm trying to talk.
You didn't hear. You can't actually understand
No.
the guys.
And I'm gonna grumble off to the side. Well, if you tell me what the fuck she is.
Just from what I can see of auras, same energy as that other thing, only it's a lot stronger in this thing.
Displacement grenade? I know I can't hear you, but what is she saying?
Yeah, she says it's like the thing we just fought, but stronger.
So what
And
is
he
the
pulls out the grenade. But
what is
carry on,
the
Tyrion.
what is the resistance to mental shit? Like, what is it? The roll? I know it's composure plus wits. I think.
Usually it's a roll minus composure or minus resolve.
Oh right. So Trevor, give me your composure.
4.
Resisting coercion, is that what we want?
It's
Yep.
resisting a spell, actually. So I agree with Ryan. I
Yeah.
believe it is just that.
Just don't tell me you have a party wipe because she's going to have to use the nearest thing that I have.
No, actually, you just suddenly see her as an innocent little girl and get overwhelmed with not wanting to kill her. So you kind of just close the flap on the displacement grenade.
Yeah.
As Ryan, your character
clasp
gets
it.
thrown literally down the hallway by her.
Say, we just need to keep talking, obviously. Try to look as non-threatening as possible, and I'll take a seat.
As you just like start talking, she just basically does a Vader force choke and starts lifting you up, and you can't breathe. Like you can feel your neck starting to get crushed.
Still perfectly innocent, right?
I vote we leave. Ow.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt her, even though she's literally killing you.
I am going to push Nara back behind the way that Ryan just went flying.
And I'm gonna mutter to you, hold on, if I shoot her, we can distract her long enough and you can pull Wolf and the rest of us down the hallway. And we can run from her.
I'll get a growl of acknowledgement.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick up my gun, ready it, and basically use her as mobile cover, mind you. So I'm behind her now, and I'm gonna like dodge out to the side of her and shoot at her.
All right, you managed to hit her, and Wolf drops to the ground, basically.
Alright, and then with one hand, I will grab Wolf, and the other hand, I'll grab the table to pull up alongside us as we're coming from through the door, so I can put it up against the door.
All right. The wolf just kind of gets dragged that way, and the table gets placed in front of the door.
And then I guess this way we go.
Trying to squish into a lift with a big werewolf.
The unshift.
Okay.
As Wolf still getting dragged along. All right, so you guys hit the lift, and down it goes. As it clears the floor, by the way, your mind unclears, Trevor, and you be highly confused why you didn't nail the bitch with a displacement grenade.
Ow.
I'm really getting tired of being mind fucked. Just for the record.
Oh, it's not so bad.
Let's even get thrown into a wall.
Try having your heart
Walk
crushed
off
from
in a few
within.
minutes.
Ah.
Could use a throat lozenge. That'll probably clear out in a few minutes too. He stands up and dusts himself off.
So what am I seeing at the end of that hallway?
That is rubble. You can't tell from this distance, but it definitely looks like just debris. Like the corridor is collapsed there. And then to your left and right are doors, but these look significantly more sophisticated than the ones up, like that you've seen on the floors above you. These have actually like seals and gaskets between the door. They look like sliding doors that open, but there's definitely gaskets and seals in them.
And you said straight ahead's nothing but rubble.
Yeah, it's rubble.
I'm gonna take a closer look at this rubble. What kind of rubble is it?
It's definitely from the corridor. It looks like somebody used explosives to try to collapse it.
Is there any interesting rocks or crystals or anything sticking out of the pile?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay. She'll give it a nudge with her foot, but, you know, if she doesn't see anything immediately interesting.
Wolf will get over there and look up, just inspect things around a little bit more.
Looks like it's like the place is holding together. Whoever tried to blow this place up didn't do a very good job of it. By the way, Nora, as you actually approach that door, it actually slides open.
I thought it would.
Actually, what's really creepy is the fact that we were just above this area, and there was no problem with the floor.
Yeah.
Something reality falling asunder. And then he walks forwards.
I'm also kind of thinking your idea of going through the floor above this one to get into here might not have actually worked. If that's the case.
It may not have.
So
Holding space.
as you all enter, the door that you pass through shuts. You can actually hear like just a whoosh of air, and then the door in front of you opens.
Airlock.
Oh god damn it! This one's gonna do that, isn't it?
Oh, the light block not moving.
Yep.
It's like you got clever with the doors and no, it's like nope.
There's actually a lot that goes on. Oh, you're cheating. I see.
Yes. He's doing what he did last time.
That makes sense.
It works.
So, just to give you a description of this room as you kind of just step in, directly in front of you is another individual in a lab coat with his eyes glowing on the ground. There's another one to the south of you. There's multiple desks with chairs. The objects ahead of you are glass cells, basically, with more glowing-eyed individuals in them. They don't all look the same or anything. As a point of fact, the ones inside the chambers looked not dressed like scientists. They're wearing normal, casual, day-to-day clothes.
I'm more freaked out how all three of these desks look identical. No.
And as you enter, this thing starts to stand up in front of you. The one down to the south doesn't seem to have reacted.
Right.
Fucking damn it, to the lift instead? Fuck these guys.
At least it looks like those other ones aren't coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, those are sealed glass cells, basically.
Is this one in the south doing anything?
No, it doesn't seem to have reacted to your presence.
I imagine if we get closer to it, it will.
Is standing up, so I'm going to think like Wolf does and draw and fire 2 normal rounds into him. 3. Fuck it, it's 3.
All right, you can shoot the hell out of it. Again, it's slowly standing up, basically.
Okay.
Right.
I'll put a broadhead into it. We'll see how that works.
And after they fire, I'll go up and punch it.
Well, and then I'm gonna fire next, and
I'll wait for them to fire.
Yeah, so you all get your shooting phase. Again, zero defense. This is just another guy in a lab coat.
Right. And for the record, I'm firing at a slightly down angle so that I don't breach the cages.
I'm basically aiming kind of this way.
Basically, you're all making sure that if you miss, you don't shoot the fucking glass behind it.
Yep, I don't have to worry about over penetration though.
And I critically fail, trip over the guy, and smash into one of the cases.
Oh, good thing you can't do that. So for the first hit, 3 successes. One success for the second hit. Jesus, roll lower. That you roll 7s and like across the board, that's not a success, right? I mean,
Nope.
lucky 7s.
Nope.
7 sevens,
Nope.
right?
7 sevens does 7,777 damage. To
All right,
you.
Fortunately, we're not in the Final Fantasy universe, in which case that would have annihilated some Shinra troops. But
So
yeah,
you still do enough damage that this thing drops.
Is my arrow intact?
It
Wait.
is.
I
I will
goofed.
retrieve
I
it.
should have one more. Oh, okay, so 7 sevens and a 3.
There you go, Ryan. There's 2 1s with no successes.
But not a critical fail because of the way the system works.
Yep.
I retrieve my arrow.
By the way, this one closest is banging on the glass, but doesn't seem to be able to do a goddamn thing to it.
Does the one
Lot
in the
of
south
ammo.
react? yet?
Nope, doesn't seem to have done anything. It's still laying on the ground with its eyes glowing.
I'm gonna check out this desk.
Looks like a workstation, but it also looks like a very comfortable workstation. There's notes all over it. Like there's documents with notes all over them.
Anything stick out?
It looks like notes on various experimental groups.
As well?
The most recent one refers that experimental group 85 was a failure again.
Did you cover the fact that that chair was knocked over and the others weren't?
It just looks like somebody tried to run from here, basically.
Okay.
The notes do mention that there still has not been a successful reproduction of hold on, of subject 1295.
I'm going to look around for various notes, cross-referencing to number, and see what it was, if I can.
I'm gonna assume it was.
Subject 1295. You find notes on basically just in the desk drawers. Was an attempt at using a younger subject than the others. A prepubescent girl was chosen.
I'm gonna assume it was the bitch we saw upstairs.
Experimenting on children. Gotta love the class.
I'm just gonna keep watching, keep an eye on the one, and keep an eye on the one banging on the glass and on the one on the floor. Looking out for any cracks.
No reaction to the one on the floor, and like he's not even doing anything to the glass. Like it's just utterly failing at it.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually step real close to the glass and I'm gonna look at him. Like, and
That-
scan
that's-
him thoroughly.
And he phases right through and grapples you.
Just starts banging more frantically on the glass as you approach. Still no effect on it. This is really thick, and you're guessing it's not standard glass either because it does have a blue tint to it.
Anything else I can tell from it?
You're guessing this guy was homeless. just from his attire and from just his personal, like how his skin and stuff is.
I will cast Find the Hidden Horde. Speak means find the hidden bullshit. I get 2 successes. Anything hidden?
Don't find anything hidden. Oh, sorry. Yes, you do. This desk has a hidden compartment.
Do I
Apologies for that.
smell over here? And he gets the thing.
Please be booze. Please be booze.
It's love notes between the person who worked at this desk and another scientist who worked here.
Best high school dramatic reading voice. He will read some of these aloud. After about half a minute, he just browses through it, doesn't find anything important, throws it on the table. Sometimes I just find the most damning things I don't want to know.
So, do any of these already have cracks in them, or do they all look perfectly intact?
They all look intact.
Okay, because I noticed that second one move, and she shifted and pointed an arrow at it immediately.
Yeah, he's banging on the glass now that Wolf went down there, but still no effect.
Wolf, for the record, was kind of expecting this and did one of those things as he reached for the paper and found it. After he reads the paper, sets it down, and makes his comment, he'll look back at that thing and then go over here. Like, basically trying to see how far he has to go before it stops. If it stops.
It doesn't stop. By the way, the notes also detail this room. You can kind of piece together what this room was for. They were using these cells to test whether the people inside were actually immortal. You find notes on attempts to burn them alive, attempts to expose them to various lethal diseases. All failures. At some point or another, every test subject died except for that one.
How long has that subject lasted, and some of the others? Like, how long have they been holding these people?
You find notes dating back 20 years. And that subject has lasted everything they've tried. Like, they've used every disease they could find, tried to burn her alive, shot her repeatedly, electrocution.
I guess that explains why talking is completely out of the equation. This is... Alex, I understand that Nazis are bad people, but there's worse.
Well, yeah. I told you that when we finished the movie.
Yeah, why is that the first thing you mentioned? That wasn't the point.
So, what about this person in this cell?
Same idea, looks homeless.
So, go down to... Oops. I will combat crawl over to this desk and stealth. Just this, experiment.
Alright, give me some stealth roll.
Form of cat, because I need to go through the desk. 2 successes.
Okay. As you reach here, it starts to stand up.
Motherfucker!
Everybody take your round shooting.
I'm going to go ahead and move closer first.
We'll shoot twice, and then reload.
I'm gonna kind of move behind the desk and then shoot over the desk.
Alex actually kind of fucking scoffs at you people and walks up to it while drawing an arrow. Like, we may as well just shoot it while it's down. It's not a threat at the moment.
I get 6 successes on the first one, and this is while Alex is walking towards it.
And I kind of take a couple more steps closer and then shoot.
13 successes on the second shot.
And Wolf manages to blow its head apart.
While I'm still walking closer.
Yes.
That works.
Note, there is a bonus for being right up on something's ass while it's prone.
Wolf was also prone.
True.
Got into a crouch and then fired because it was rising. Fucking Revenant. And then he reloads his gun. I'm feeling explosive rounds. As he loads them in.
Well, now that we know how to deal with these things, they're not really a threat.
Yes, as you walk up, by the way, no, the door opens.
And I'll
Okay.
briefly inspect these last two desks. Just spend a minute or two looking for more information.
Nothing you haven't already found.
I'm gonna search this guy.
You find a pass key to the lab, basically, on him. And also a wallet with pictures of his family.
What's his name? Date of birth, home state, his address? I'm looking for a driver's license. No. Honestly, like, she flips open the wallet out of curiosity, but doesn't get much sympathy.
Yeah.
She'll take the passkey though.
Okay.
Actually, she will also take a driver's license if one is available.
Yes, he does have a driver's license in there.
Okay, she will totally snake the driver's license.
Okay.
Actually, she's going to look through it and see if there's any other personal information available in the wallet.
I might hate myself for doing this later, but Wolf will head over to this guy and check the corpse.
Pass key. This one doesn't seem to have his wallet on him.
Okay.
There's no other information, like personal information, you can find in the wallet other than the driver's license.
Do you have a cell phone on him?
He does not.
Well, worst case scenario, I can do a superficial match. Might get us by something.
Or I could just enter his driver license number in the database.
What? No.
Oh no.
If there's some sort of security feature
Oh yeah.
that requires, like, visual.
You might get the eye right, but I don't think you could get a good fingerprint read off of that.
At least I caught on.
And he's saying this and eyeing Alex's reaction. He's just saying it for her reaction.
Yes, but facial recognition is a thing.
I'm just gonna shrug and start walking down the hallway.
Well, I'm glad you caught on.
As you guys enter, door shuts, whoosh, and other door opens.
Also, while I've never tried it, I might actually be doing fingerprints. I don't know. It is magic.
So down the corridor looks like more rubble, somebody tried to blow it looks like somebody basically tried to collapse this entire corridor and failed at it.
Well, our path seems clear.
Hey, that one worked.
Are those fucking Jello shots?
No, they're actually
Centrifuge.
vials.
Okay, it's a centrifuge. That makes way
Yes.
more sense than Jello shot.
As you enter, this guy and this guy both start to stand up.
I'm gonna shoot at the one in front of me. How can
Same.
I, like... Okay.
It's +2 to hit a prone, right?
Yes.
Only if you're at point blank. It's -2 at range.
Yeah.
Go right up to him.
Ah,
Okay.
explosive rounds are a waste.
I'm gonna go to the other one then.
And SS points and go into form of big cat, charge, and start clawing a bitch.
Ryan, how
What
much damage do you do to the top one?
Oh, I was just waiting for things to get resolved.
attack is Dex Brawl?
Strength brawl. Alright, so this one seems to drop, basically. You've blown a nice chunk out of the bottom one, Kelly.
Four successes on my melee attack.
Alright, and you've dropped the other one. So yeah, as you can kind of see, this room looks more like a more traditional chemistry style lab facility. There's centrifuges with monitors next to them. The top desk has a centrifuge with a Bunsen burner next to it. This thing up here is really difficult to see, but it's one of those containment chambers with the gloves. There's a chair here with restraints. This is just a test tube rack with a monitor next to it, microscopes, and some form of a biohazard containment down in the lower right.
Is there any information on any of the screens that is summarized in any way?
You can kind of put it together with a couple of them.
Or is it just like different concentrations of different elements and such?
Actually, the one next to the test tube rack has a log, basically.
Ah.
The ones near the centrifuges are just various elemental concentrations and chemicals. That one you're in front of now, Ryan, though, actually, basically, as you can piece it together, they were trying to find a use for the failures. And they came up with a serum that would heighten the aggression of them, because they believed they might be useful as shock troops. Since, while not immortal, they were difficult to kill, if their aggression could be heightened to berserker levels, they could be dropped onto an enemy and at least be useful in that sense.
Wow, these people are dumb.
So I'm gonna look a little bit deeper into it and see if there's any encrypted files or anything.
It doesn't look like anything's encrypted.
Okay.
If you're looking for any specific information, let me know, but all the files don't seem encrypted. You guess they probably assumed this facility was secure enough.
Is there anything on the microscopes? Did we check that?
Looks like various slides they were looking at cellular regeneration. Yeah, that corpse doesn't seem to be moving. Its eyes are glowing, but it doesn't seem to be moving.
So I'm gonna take a couple more steps forward. Gun at the ready, mind you.
At this point, I fucking charge it.
It doesn't react.
I grapple it and I start raking the shit out of this thing.
I'm gonna go investigate down here while they're doing that.
I'm gonna look at its clothes a little closer, and like.
After about 12 seconds, I'll stop because that's 2 turns. 1 turn to get to it and bite, and the other turn to grapple and rake. Then let go.
His outfit definitely looks like another researcher, but otherwise seems fairly nondescript.
Okay, does he look less unhuman than the rest of them did?
He does look less unhuman than the rest of them did.
So I'm gonna kind of not like crouch down, but kind of crouch down and see if maybe I'm gonna ask him, "Hey, can you hear me?" To see if maybe he can understand me.
There's no response.
Smell different than the others.
No, although your wounds did heal as soon as you scratched them, just like the others.
Right. Alex is actually going to set her bow down behind her and then start patting them down.
Raised over his neck, ready for a neck bite / grapple.
You find his wallet.
Okay. Anything but his wallet?
Keycard to open the lab.
Never hurts to have a spare. And she'll pocket that one too. And pull out the wallet. Take a look at it. Anything interesting?
This one is of Europe. He's actually from Europe. He doesn't have a U.S. driver's license. The other one had an American license.
Okay, what part of
Wait a minute.
London.
Wait a minute. She's actually going to walk up over to this one and look for a wallet.
You find it.
American driver's license.
American driver's license.
Wallet.
Yep.
American driver's license.
Yep.
I wonder if there's some sort of genetic connection.
That's possible.
I mean, we have all these examples, and the one European doesn't react aggressively. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand that stereotypes are there for a reason, but that seems like a bit much for it just to be a behavioral thing.
By the way, Jared, just to answer you because you had asked earlier, this looks like some sort of a biohazard disposal device. Looks like there's basically almost an airlock you can use to put samples in, and then there's a control panel that activates it.
Okay.
Does it seem like it has a history? Like,
No. It doesn't look like there's like a record of what they've used it for. Although you can try to figure out what it does if you want to examine it, if any of you have any knowledge of that stuff. What would that be?
probably science.
Yeah, that would be a science.
Not me. She's a journalist. She sucked at science and math.
Like she's less interested with the corpse and backing away maybe a little. Like once everyone backs away from the corpse, Wolf will disengage as well and shapeshift back to human form.
Thanks for playing it safe.
He's trying to grapple her than someone else. He looks at Alexis and shrugs.
Alexis is gonna look back while everyone's gathering at the door. Do you think we should kill it anyway? Put it out of its misery?
I'm thinking yes.
I suspect it's not in much misery as it is.
That's true.
Would you sooner exist potentially forever? I would sooner seek oblivion.
Right. Well, make sure you don't waste bullets. Seems silly to do that. We don't know what else is down here.
I agree.
There's by the way, your Geist is looking very like over this one and looks at you. Flip him over.
Okay, she stops and her kind of half meandering towards the door goes over and kind of pulls him over.
She looks at the back. Pull his lab coat down. You'll see what I'm seeing.
Okay, so I do what she says.
Wait, we're stripping corpses now?
He's not technically dead yet.
She says he's not technically dead.
Let me look up what you guys find.
I can't be happy after what I did to him.
He actually has a tattoo on his back. And it looks like this.
Knights Templar.
Yes,
Nice.
Ryan, you actually get to recognize the symbol this time.
Knights Templar. Wait,
Probably faster than everybody else, too.
I think I got the reference on this one, guys. Helsing, probably? Regenerator? Anyone?
What?
It's
No, the
referenced.
Templars were bankers, and they
The anime
did
didn't
things
get it
for
right.
travelers. What would they have anything to do with this? Weren't they disbanded? I thought I heard of them being disbanded.
How much? What year, Alex?
Hell if I know.
And you
Something
guys
in my
can't-
brain saying they're disbanded.
And you guys can give me an intellect plus occult roll, basically.
We cannot.
Well, you can.
What about me? Is it something that I would have read?
Yeah, you've read enough about various occult things.
Then I know it
Like-
because I'm not under pressure.
Yeah, you've read theories that it was disbanded to cover the creation of another Knights Templar, basically.
2 successes.
You know the same thing. Ryan, did you roll yours? Jared,
She wouldn't have the opportunity to know.
No, she wouldn't.
So, but the rest of you do know, basically, there's a theory kind of in the occult books that the Knights Templar never truly disappeared. They were simply covered up so that they could continue operations in secret. Basically, they had a falling out with the church, though.
So I'm gonna look at my guys. So why do you think he's resistant to it then?
Probably knew what he was walking into. Illuminati and the Templar didn't exactly get along when I was alive.
No, they wouldn't, would they?
I'm guessing we're staring at corporate espionage.
So what do you think, he ended up like us and had some sort of resistant injection or something?
Something like that, probably longer lasting, though.
Or periodic?
But yeah, I'm guessing
Routine
he was.
injections.
I'm guessing he was here as corporate espionage.
That doesn't sound like the ones I'm thinking of.
They Alexis explains her theory.
No, I get it. It's just never mind.
Had
Out of
history.
character. Out of character. Knights Templar were actually one of the few truly just purely good organizations that ever existed.
Yes, they were, actually.
They have done. They never did anything but help, and not only did they help, but they helped mostly the poorest of the poor.
And that was absolutely correct, even in the World of Darkness universe. Imagine why they may have had a falling out with the church.
Yep.
Yeah. Small wonder that.
Pause. Food might be ready.
But yeah, hearing the phrase corporate espionage tied with Templars is very disappointing to her.
But yes, that is actually what had happened even in World of Darkness. It's just there might have been, other things happening.
Yes, and she's fully cognizant that they could have changed over the years. And
Yeah, your character is aware of how many years has passed. Like, a lot of years has passed since you were around.
Yeah, she doesn't know how many, but she knows it's several hundred.
Yeah, enough time that an organization could easily have changed.
Let me restate. She suspects it's several hundred.
Dinner is ready, so I'll be back.
Okay.
And DM has pizza now, so everybody gets 80 XP. I'm kidding.
All right. Already marked it down.
I
Too
already
late, can't
spent
take
it.
it back now.
I boosted too many stats already. Can't take it back.
Pretty sure Nara. Oh, yep. Pretty sure Nara's streaming, so the public has witnessed it.
Hi, Zoe. Hi, Zoe.
All right, so back to the totally not creepy lab of totally not mad scientists.
Zoe keeps dragging all dog toys from downstairs to upstairs.
That's adorable. Specifically the shoulder puppy.
Uh-huh.
Our nickname's Zobird. Her mom does the exact same thing to my best friends. When they're on the couch or the futon, she'll just climb up and sit in the very top on their shoulders.
Hi, Lift.
Do you even lift, bruh?
So you guys press the down button.
Yep.
Is there an up button?
There is not on this one. Well, there is actually. Sorry, there's been an up button on every one of them.
It just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, if you press the up button while it was on that level, it didn't do anything.
Is there an elevator call button, by the way?
There is, right next to the lift.
Okay.
As you approach that, it opens. Actually, all of these open as Nora approaches.
That's not creepy or unsettling at all.
They really like the number 5, but it's still not 13. But it's still unsettling.
This is 6.
I'd rather have
Yeah,
5
that's
than
what it's
13.
Didn't count, clearly. Assumptions were made.
So as you guys enter the room, you're seeing 3 bodies on the ground with eyes glowing. Some sort of a terminal here. There's also multiple desks around with computers on them, and in the center is this glass enclosure. There's actually a door on the front of this glass enclosure on this side, the side facing you. Inside of 4 objects you can't really see all that well. They look like almost like wells in the ground. And then in the center is a chair with heavy restraints on it.
Are the doors shut or open?
Open.
I think we found quote-unquote subject 195's dwelling. I'm
not very well versed in how to speak food. Could you please repeat that?
We found subject 195's dwelling.
Okay.
It's a huge coffee mug.
So Ryan, what soup did you have?
Chicken noodle soup. But I added extra salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese, so it's extra delicious.
Ooh, I'd never thought of putting Parmesan in chicken noodle.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I was hoping you would say something awesome like some Italian soup or something.
Minestrone. We can go with minestrone. We can pretend it's minestrone.
But yes, so that is this room. Other than that, fairly large enclosure. You can see it looks like the walls are heavily reinforced, though.
These walls or
The actual perimeter walls look heavily reinforced.
so I'm gonna walk over to this guy and shoot him.
And he starts to sit up.
Because I wanna look at the what you call it. By the way, I have normal bullets in my gun now because wow, that was pathetic. Ouch.
Luckily, Alex did not do pathetic, and it's down.
Rips arrow out of what is likely his skull.
Yeah, that went clean through his head.
I successfully turn into Dire Cat and join Jer in shredding that corpse.
And I'm gonna boot up this computer.
It's not a computer. It doesn't like turn on or anything. It is actually a control terminal.
Okay, what does it look like it controls? I'm not gonna push any buttons, but I'm trying to figure out where it leads.
Give me a wits plus computer roll. While I get more food.
So you got the 2 successes was on your raw kitty.
Yeah, on damage. Funny how it's not defending itself, and yet not much damage is happening.
You didn't kill him, by the way.
Oh, I know we didn't, but that's a turn.
Yep.
So, Trevor, you're actually going to get another attack because I know for a fact that there is no way in hell this thing can out initiative you.
Well, I don't have a gun in my hand, but I still have really insane dex because form of cat.
Yeah, this thing cannot out initiative you, so give me another attack roll.
Two successes again,
And now it's dead.
but I continue raking for a few more moments just to make sure.
So, Nara, what you're able to figure out with your computer skill is this is a control terminal for the chamber in the center of the room. It specifically seems like this is how you lock and unlock the door, and also it opens those 4 shutters on the ground.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk over to this desk. What do I find?
Computer terminal, like an actual computer with records and things. It looks like this is actually the room they used to do the experiments. Those shutters go directly into the ley line convergence. The idea being put a subject in there, seal them in. The crystal in the glass prevents the energy from escaping too badly, and then expose them to the energy.
Lovely.
It says 80% of subjects die instantly. The remainder, only one subject exhibited the correct regenerative properties. The others could eventually be killed, which was considered a failure of the project. Your Geist also nudges you. Those shutters are leaking.
Of course they are. Well, I think we found our leak. I gesture over to the holes. Those shutters are partially open.
So we close them.
Actually, like you can see from where you are, the shutters look like something very powerful has tried to smash them.
Lovely.
I'll shift back into human form and check my ammo. And reload it, actually. Forgot to do that earlier. Want to deal with that last guy over there? We'll just let him lie in peace. Ish.
Well, I suspect that we might end up being joined by something at some point. If she tried to smash those in some odd way, she probably thinks of this as home.
Well, she tried to smash them. She could either be trying to close them off or open them up. Were the shutters closed when they were smashed?
The computer terminal has a record that they were shut at the time of the damage.
Damn it.
So yeah, trying to get more power. So yeah, this is Big Baby's room. So I suggest we go deal with this guy.
And head is actually a -3 penalty.
Oh,
What's a -3?
head.
Head,
The more we know.
right?
Luckily, we were close. Much better.
I don't think my poor arrow survived this one.
No, Callie blows your arrow to hell.
Sorry.
It's alright. That's why I brought a lot of them. I just realized there was a really funny joke about exactly how many arrows I brought. I didn't even think about it.
By the way, your guys just like walks over and looks into one of the shutters. Just so if this is what's leaking the energy, and we're supposed to stop it, and the immortal bitch wants to break it open. Anybody have any ideas?
You realize no one can hear you, right?
You can translate for me.
Who says I want to translate for you? She just kind of shakes her head, looks at the rest of you, and it's just like, as annoying as she is, she did have a point. So, Big Scary Thing wants to open them. We need to close them. Any brilliant ideas? Obviously, blowing up the area didn't work.
Well, how big are those holes?
They're only about a couple, like 1 or 2 feet across.
Her gaze kind of drifts over to the bodies. I mean, we got some things that probably jam them up.
True, but that probably wouldn't stop the energy.
Well, the crystal glass should, right? That's why it's there.
If we can find a way to get it to cover them, sure.
Yeah, at that, you guys kind of looks up at the ceiling. Well, we are technically underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what my character's going to say is, yeah.
In a bunker made out of that crystal concrete that seems to be able to stop this energy.
Oh. She's going to relay that.
This feels like a bad idea.
And
Oh,
we're
it's a horrible idea. However, do we have any better ones?
Not really.
and I think I know why Dad had a hit flask on hand. Well, why not?
You guys then also looks directly at the pouch you've seen Trevor fiddling with on his side that has the displacement grenade.
I mean,
I stare
we're
at
just
said
trying to
pouch.
close this up, right? The light is coming from somewhere. What? Maybe Trevor missed something. Those shutters are covering what?
Holes in the ground.
Okay.
They'll lead directly to a vein of energy.
It's the rift in the ley line.
And the shutters are leaking because something tried to smash them open.
I mean, if you're suggesting erase the ley line,
You guys chuckles at that. No, I'm more thinking, I wonder how big of a boom that grenade would make if it was supercharged with ley line energy.
Oh god.
You know, now I'm scared.
glad that wasn't my first inclination.
You all can't hear her.
Okay, makes sense. Right.
No, you just heard
Why-
her
why, oh God?
nothing more.
Why are you scared?
She just pointed out that imagine how big the boom from that thing, which we were told was massive, got supercharged on ley line energy.
Well, this sounds like an even worse idea. I
Yep. We
wasn't
might blow
thinking
up,
about that, and now I really don't want to use it.
We might blow up half the state.
And Wolf points behind himself, which would be why I don't want to use it. Well, I mean, I'd sooner keep it for something like her. He just points at the hallway behind himself. He doesn't look back. He doesn't want to. He knows it's probably there if he starts looking.
Hallway's empty when you all look.
He does look eventually. He has only so much willpower. He's the last to look, but he's not far behind.
So I'm gonna pull up my phone and call Ayami and see if she has any brilliant ideas.
She answers. How's it going down there?
Found a basically immortal bitch. That's actually a little girl. They were experimenting on little girls.
What is with you guys and running into little girls that are insane and powerful?
Yeah, shut up.
You're not
This is
the
starting to
only
become
one
a
who's
pattern.
done that. She shouted loud enough for him to hear. I'm
Okay,
arguing.
I just put her on speakerphone basically. So we have an issue. We found a leak. 4 2-foot wide holes in the ground are kind of smashed because it looks like she was trying to get more power.
Fantastic. Any ideas for dealing with that?
That's why I was calling you, because you know, we thought maybe displacement grenade, and then as my guys pointed out, displacement grenade on ley line energy might blow up half the state. We might not want to do that.
Yeah, I don't actually know how big the blast would be, so I'm not really keen on finding out.
My thoughts.
It would be bigger? Okay, that's reason not to do it.
Just, well, your grenade is basically contained ley line energy. That's what causes the displacement effect. If it was enhanced with a direct connection to a ley line, we might get something closer to an actual supernova.
I was actually thinking, let's not split this atom.
Well, I can't hear this, can I?
It's on
Yeah,
speaker.
it's on
Yeah,
speakerphone.
but
Right, I missed that. Well, maybe if we just connect it to a bit, not the direct connection, but just somewhat enhance it, that might be able to do what we're looking for.
So a nuke instead of a supernova.
Well, I guess I think those things underground actually aren't that dangerous, right?
The ley lines themselves are completely stable. Like, it's not that big of an issue. It's the taps they put into it.
Better off plugging the hole, really.
No, we need to destroy the tap.
How do we
What
do
about
that?
regular grenades?
Just theoretically, I mean, as I understand it, ley line energy is carried via a vein of crystal in the ground. I'm guessing the idiots drilled 4 boreholes into it. If you were to collapse the borehole, the energy would stop leaking out. It's just plugging it with something that the energy wouldn't just pass through.
So we blow up yet another section of this facility and cover another hole, like
So
the
here's a
collapsed sections
question.
in the past.
So here's a better question.
That
So-
didn't work.
The idea that I have, which is a really bad one, throw a grenade down the hole, right? We have to open the hole to do so.
Well, it's a good thing we got those injections. I mean, exactly how awful is it going to be?
Ayani,
Well,
how useful were those injections for this kind of spelunking?
Those injections were designed to protect you against residual energy from a ley line over a distance and probably through rock. If you stared into it, that would be like asking if sunscreen would help you if you went to the surface of a sun.
Well, we know what effect ley lines have on humans. What about other things?
Like a werewolf.
Well, I'm certainly not human. Not entirely, that's for sure.
I don't actually know. I can't say I've ever heard of a Fae being exposed or a changeling being exposed directly to ley line energy. The energy coursing through your body is actually from another plane of existence. It's not ley line energy anymore. Theoretically, it shouldn't have the effect on you.
That's what I was thinking.
You're not human. You've been completely converted into something basically running on a different kind of power. Theoretically, it shouldn't have the effect it has on beings from this world.
And, I always have a trump card if things go wrong. She kind of sighs. Right. Well, we got grenades, right? Just pull the pin, drop them down the hole, right? That's how these work.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
Okay, hand them over. Here.
Family
Alexis.
speaks up. The dirt from the ground is not going to plug that hole. The energy will just saturate it within a matter of months.
How far down the borehole do we need to get it then?
You need to basically plug the hole with something that's not going to get saturated with energy. I'm guessing what this facility is made out of is probably designed for that purpose.
Like the debris we've been encountering.
Or we could just collapse the entire facility, she says.
Do we have a way to do that?
Well, there isn't exactly.
Theoretically,
I thought you guys were talking about the displacement grenade was collapsing the entire facility.
It would
No.
probably collapse way more than that.
Well, the problem is that what we were talking about with the displacement grenade is that it is condensed ley line energy, which means it will feed off of the top, which will make it bigger, not necessarily collapse things.
I only speak. Alex, does your usual way work to get out of there if you were to maybe breach a hole in the walls?
It would keep us. Well, let's find out. Give me a second. Then she'll walk over and knock on the door and attempt to open a path into the hedge.
It doesn't open.
Yeah, it's not opening at all.
What if you were to like break the wall, like not have a containment around you anymore?
Maybe we can try it. We'll have to backtrack a bit.
Because I think I have a way to collapse this facility, but you're not going to like it.
Well, while we're heading back, why don't you go ahead and explain it?
If you wouldn't mind, now would be a decent time for me to recharge just a little bit. Hey, if we're going to be leaving this place quite soon, I wouldn't mind a minute or two.
She goes, well, you see, there was a satellite placed into orbit by the US government about 5 years ago no one knows exists. It's a very powerful railgun. Our techs have the ability to hack the guidance system of it. It would basically launch a telephone pole-sized rod of depleted uranium directly down into this facility.
Rods from God? Really? Please tell me that's the name of this.
Don't know what the hell they called it. Ask your government.
The God Rod.
Basically, it's not flagged as a weapon at a different time, but then different laws were passed, so they said, well, we can't legally get away with this.
Just point is, I'm guessing the kinetic impact of that would collapse the entire facility. There's just one problem. How powerful is that bitch you're talking about?
Looks
The
like
experiments
from-
say immortal.
Yeah, they
She-
tried pretty much everything on her.
You familiar
My
with Force
question
Choke?
is,
That's a good
does-
start. She also had control over crushing a heart within a werewolf's body. Decent start.
My question
Where
is,
do you
could
think-
she hold the facility up with telekinesis?
She. I have a worse idea. Theoretically, yes, but I noticed she gets distracted easily. Like she was strangling Torin and I shot her and she dropped it.
She was
that's
crushing Serenity's heart, and I shot her, and she was thrown off by that too.
See, that's where I was getting to. You're not gonna like my plan.
Oh, but
We have to
that's
stay
where it
behind
gets
and
good.
stop.
That's why I was asking if you had a way out.
Well, from the normal part of the mansion itself, almost definitely.
We'll be running away from the explosion.
And that should be okay, because that thing should follow us up out of there anyway. Right? I mean, we leave the doors open
Follow you up out of where? Sorry, Ryan.
up out of the basement.
Theoretically, it depends on what she's after. I haven't met her.
She doesn't want to talk, clearly, or only communicates in onomatopoeia.
Well, if she
Painful.
follows us out, it'll work for sure. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out a way to get out of here from inside, which I do not particularly like the chances, because as much as we may be able to get beyond the walls, I need some sort of portal, a door, a mirror, a window, and anything really, but it has to be a portal.
I'm not entirely above using this damn displacement grenade on her bitch ass either.
Assuming she doesn't make you love her again.
Shoot
You
her.
hear
I
Ayami
throw
over
the
the phone.
grenade.
Wait, he fell in love with another mind controlling thing?
No.
A little
Neither
girl
of
this time.
none of that was love. You
Dude,
know.
that's just creepy now.
Is this part collapsed right here?
Yes, that's rubble.
Damn, there's not a door buried in that rubble, is there?
The doorway is still intact, it's just filled with rubble.
What about the door itself? Does it open and close?
You can, like, force the door to slide open a little.
How far is a little?
Probably a foot wide. You could squeeze sideways through it if you had to.
That's good enough. That should work. Let's try it. So she'll go ahead and push it shut, knock on it, and then force it open as much as she can.
You can see the hedge through it.
Yep, that's a way out.
Okay. So we
Just-
have.
Fantastic, but you're going to have to keep her distracted as the round hits, is the problem.
Well, I can hold this open as long as we need to.
This timing is going to have to be so perfect. Just. Fuck.
And if she follows us in, that's not really a problem. She's tapping into the ley line energy for her power. She follows us into the hedge.
She'll
That's
be
not going
trapped.
to work out so well for her. That'll make it my round.
Just Alexandra, do me a favor. Check your back pocket.
I sigh, roll my eyes, check my back pocket. What do I?
You find a note with a lip print on it, and then underneath the note with a lip print on it, you find a very small miniature hourglass.
Okay. So, want to tell me what this is?
Oh, it's my favorite lipstick color.
Not that.
You hear Ayami giggle. It's a fun little trinket Lucifer gave me once. I had a feeling we might need it in here, so I slipped it into your back pocket when I grabbed your ass getting off the plane.
Thought so.
It will freeze time for exactly 5 seconds.
What do I need to do with it to make it do that?
Shatter it. It's very fragile. Just smash it in the palm of your hand. It'll freeze time for 5 seconds.
We'll need to get her to this doorway. Or create a similar hole in a doorway nearer to her.
Do you have any idea what she's after?
Not really. I mean, she started throwing tables at us.
Revenge, likely. On the scientists.
Or more energy in general. Like, again, she smashed them open. Like, she wanted to open the ley line more.
Well, what's preventing her from going in there and smashing it more open? Why isn't she there now?
So she's not after power. I'm betting she was after revenge. So you know what? I bet if you put on a lab coat,
Here, let me help you with that.
hell, I
Stress
bet if I
lab
put on a
coat.
lab coat, I could look exactly like one of these guys.
Amy speaks to the phone. I'm curious, Alex, was she ever able to use any of her mental powers on you?
She never tried.
It's possible she can't affect you in the same way as the others. Again, your energy is different.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Hey, every little bit will count. I mean, be nice if one of you at least couldn't be mind controlled. We all know Wolf is very easy with anything with boobs to mind control, so
No matter how underdeveloped they are.
So, it sounds
It's
like
not
I'm
like
playing
both
scientist.
fluent in their language.
Sounds like I'm playing scientist. That means a change of clothing is in order. She kind of looks down at herself. Right. Well then, see if we can find a largely intact set of clothing. And she's going to walk over to this.
Well, technically, all you need is the lab coat, because if you notice, every single one of them has kind of a unique clothing under it. It's just the lab coat that's in common.
Well, yes, but best chance of success, I look exactly like one of these guys.
most of their clothes are shredded from various bullet impacts and things, except the Templar.
So I'm gonna kind of gently pull on his lab coat and remove it. Since he's
Actually, I
still there.
shredded his lab coat.
Yeah, you shredded his lab coat.
Fair.
The lab coats we can get our hands on. Actually, are there any more lab coats just hanging on the walls here?
Yes, there are. Specifically, they're in the gaps between the airlock.
Well, I can get a fresh lab coat. Most of his stuff is still intact.
I think you'll wear that because she was already salty enough about us being there. But having you the target of her ire is safer for us. This is a theory.
Theoretically, I just need somebody to carry the rest of my stuff. Any volunteers?
I reach out my hands. You
I'll
have a
take the bow.
backpack, I'm assuming, right? Sort of.
No, she would not at the moment.
Okay, well, I take whatever random crap you want, because I still have my backpack, which probably has a little bit of room in it.
Oh, she just starts stripping. She sets the bow down on the ground and starts stripping.
I just kind of shrug and pick up her clothes, and as she strips them off and puts them in my bag.
Yeah, I'm over the phone as she can hear the rustling. Yeah, you guys do actually seem to have an MO. Wolf falls in love with someone's mind control, then Alex strips, and then you blow up something large.
You know, just following the pattern. Wouldn't want to disappoint you.
You know, we haven't failed with it yet.
I mean, we can put it on video phone if you'd like.
I'm not saying it's ineffective. It's definitely worked so far.
Kicking ass and not taking names.
So yeah, probably her clothes would fit in your backpack, but the quiver and the bow probably would not.
I just probably pick them up and attach them to my belt.
Yeah, they're very carryable.
Yeah. I basically look a little bit like a pack mule right now, with the shotgun over one shoulder and the and the bow over the other, but
So let me get into this, guys. Ugh, this is gonna be gross. And she starts stripping him, because she did not think to strip him first. So yes, she's foregoing the underwear, but other than that, is dressing in his clothes.
Okay.
Plus the lab coat that she's grabbing off one of the walls.
Okay.
And then she's going to shift a match, which I believe was what? Manipulation subterfuge.
Yes.
That's that.
All right, so you now look exactly like the Templar.
How do I look?
weird.
You look like a douchebag scientist who probably needs a good punching in the face, but it'll
Was the
do.
actual Templar cute at all?
Not really. He looks kind of nerdy.
You look nerdy. Congratulations.
Well, I could put on some more muscle for you later, but you know, at this point, the goal is to look like him.
Point. Disappointment. She just kind of shrugs and walks over here.
Fine, we'll look at a Sports Illustrated later. Because she could do that.
Yeah, he's probably just sitting there, like, just kind of, like, speechless.
You just hear a sigh over the phone.
What?
Anyway, I've got confirmation the satellite is in position.
Okay, so how are we gonna get her down here? That's the question.
I don't think that's going to be all that difficult. Out of character note, I have to keep reminding myself not to use her voice. No, the impassable fog wall. Oh my god, it's a Diablo 2 lag wall. That's what it
Yep.
is.
Oh god.
That's exactly what it is.
Out of curiosity, she's going to walk up to this door and check this out real quick.
When you walk up to it, it opens.
Okay, and it just opens up into perfect. Oh, this one opens as I walk up to it, though.
Yes.
Damn, that means I can't actually. I don't necessarily need physical contact. All right, let me try this one because this might be a bit safer. Wolf, you might want to come back into the hall. So before she, like, from here, I'm guessing the door is still closed.
Yes.
Let me in, and she walks up to it and spends it because she doesn't actually have to touch it or knock.
The door just opens into the corridor.
Damn. We'll have to go all the way around. That's not ideal. And she's going to take a moment to top back up on Glamour because why the fuck not?
Because you're in the Energizer battery of dungeons.
Yes, and she will abuse this. Well, I guess technically he will abuse this. What was the Templar's name?
The Templar's name was David.
Last name?
I actually have that because he's actually a decent enough character. David Anton.
David Anton. David Anton. Okay, just, when we go up there and she hits the up button, while we're in there, just, call me Dr. Anton real quick. I think we'll get the results we need.
What she kind of, I kind of walk up the hallway a little bit and kind of motion for you to say there. What's that, Dr. Anton? You want to do some more experience?
You hear a scream so loud it's deafening, and this table just explodes.
She starts pressing the
Oh.
down button.
You didn't tell me the subject had escaped, and she hits the down button.
down. Shit.
By the way,
Initiating no protocol 23.
the cables on the actual lift twist and just snap and disintegrate as she leaps down the shaft after you.
Wolf, get your ass in here now.
GTFO.
How much time does this thing take to impact?
About 5 seconds.
Right. Oh, that's perfect.
Door, please.
Fucking leg walls!
I was like, door, please.
As long as we don't rubber band, I'll be fine.
So the doors are actually shattering behind you. All the glass on these guys' cages shatters when she enters the room.
Shit.
Oh, shit. Run.
Okay.
Run.
A table comes flying down the hallway after you.
Let me in! Let me in!
Okay, guys.
I burn essence to
Guys.
take form of cat to dodge that.
Run.
Call for the shot, guys.
Now.
Shoot.
It's fired.
One.
Smash the thing!
And she smashes it.
And the
And
girl just stops, but you can actually see like her form wiggling as she's actually fighting through the stop time.
Okay.
yank the door open.
And there's the hedge.
Hop it.
Yeah, I jumped through.
As you like go
Ow.
through it, the door just like explodes by you. Like you actually see just rubble collapse behind you as the shell impacts.
Whew.
Well, it's a good thing I know how to navigate this place pretty well.
Wolf looks unusually fluffy for a cat. He
All right.
pooped.
Rule 1. Don't touch the thorns. So, we can do the rolls for hedge navigation because I actually made sure to have those.
You actually don't need it. The hedge actually parts in front of you as the door appears, and Vanessa's standing in it.
Well,
Does
that
it need a
works
lift?
too. I won't say no.
Just what? I'm not. If you actually become like me, this place actually does what you ask of it rather than the other way around.
Yeah, but I took some pride in my skill in getting around in here.
She just chuckles and steps off to the side. Everybody out.
Then I have to tell me to
Go ahead
leave.
and step on out.
Yep.
And you step into the plane, basically.
So, does Vanessa step in after us?
Yes.
By the way, don't
So-
And
Oh,
shuts the
forget-
door behind you.
Unless you dropped your form, you're still the guy.
Right. Sorry, I'm doing the wrong voice. So, I do have to ask, what exactly do I have to do to undertake that? Because you're making it more and more tempting.
Get powerful enough in your connection to the Fae, and then jump into one of the hedges. Like, just let yourself be completely flayed away.
That sounds painful.
It's agonizing. As she just keeps walking past. Ayami, by the way, is sitting with her heels up on the table.
I'll shift back into human form now that I'm on the plane.
She's, by the way, on her phone. You hear her talk. No, I promise. Michael Bay is actually working on a War of the Worlds remake now.
I just look at shoot her this look. Oh, like really? We're going with Michael Bay again?
It's a great go-to.
It is.
Just fantastic, and closes the phone. Ah,
Alex-
good, you made it out.
Alex sits down on a chair, crosses her leg, winces, and uncrosses.
Got a little extra packaging down there, don't you?
And Wolf walks
Yeah.
straight over to the liquor table, sets down a shot glass, takes the bottle off of a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 specifically, and swigs from the bottle.
Yeah. 1 second.
Then pours himself a shot and goes to the table.
Shifts back into her normal form. Oh, that hurts.
You hear Vanessa. This is why I never gender change.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of dangly bits down there.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah, Ayami. Yes, but they're fun dangly bits.
That they are.
Not when you accidentally cross your legs.
Accidentally. Doesn't happen.
It does if you're not used to having them.
I look
You are not
at-
wrong.
I look at everybody. I'm just like, oh, the conversations I never thought I'd have a month and a
I
half
know,
ago.
right? Get a changeling, get everything. Never mind. I'm not. No. He just downs this shot. I'm done.
He goes, so, what were the terms of that contract you made, by the way?
That we would retrieve we would close the gap, and in exchange, they would do us the favor of giving us the information on where they last knew the fleece to be located.
There's not a starting date on that, is there?
Actually, there is. See, the fun thing about favors is when you call in a favor, if they don't actually do the favor in what a normal person would consider a timely manner, then they're breaking this contract. And
Oh, good.
the penalty is rather severe.
So we just need to find a way back into that pocket dimension.
Again, if they wait a year and a day, bad things happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cyrene will be dead by then.
I'm aware, but this person will know that there is a time limit. Or, if they attempt to hold us back from accomplishing this goal, the contract might deem itself to be otherwise nullified.
Nathan walks into the main room with his rifle still over his shoulder. Or you could just take the shortcut and go knock on their front door.
I think that really is the best solution, but they'll have incentive to let us in.
Because while you guys were playing games with little girls, looks at Wolf.
He gives him an just blank stare.
He just smiles. Because what I was finding was the actual entry point to their pocket dimension. Moves around all the damn time, but I figured out what they're currently using.
And that is?
The door inside an armored train that never stops moving.
That's actually really clever.
Well,
Luckily, I know where the train is going to be, which is where we're going to be going. Pilot, let's go!
On the plus side, if they try and prevent us from getting to them actively, again,
And we goes, exactly, fantastic. They won't kill us once we enter the dimension because that would be actively preventing us from finding out the information. And then they'd be screwed.
oh, so very screwed.
So I'm gonna hold a bottle of scotch I grabbed when Trevor grabbed the whiskey and shake it to Nathan. You want a drink on the way?
Yes, not this time, just for once. I'm actually going to need a steady hand for what's coming.
Fair enough.
Out of character statement, by the way, it's a greater curse on the position of head mage.
Yep.
Because she's not cursing the guy specifically, she's cursing the head mage.
Yep. So a fairly short flight later, basically you guys fly to Montana, which at the speed this jet moves is a very short flight.
and Wolf stopped himself after the second ounce.
Yeah, I just took like one glass, so 1 ounce.
So you guys like set down and the door to the plane opens and Nathan and Naomi both walk out.
I hop up and follow.
Hello?
You're standing in the middle of a field, basically, just an empty field. Nathan puts the bipod on his rifle out and just lays down behind it.
I will just get out of his way and stay quiet.
Yeah.
Yes. So downrange, about 2 miles, is a railroad track where in a couple of minutes that armored train is going to come by.
I assume you're going to knock it off its rails?
That's the idea. He pulls out a small case from his back pocket and opens it. Pulls out a single 50 cal round, but in the center of the bullet is actually spinning a circle of crystal. Yes, this is what the lab techs so elegantly refer to as a kinetic round.
Ah, the redundant round. Well, the good news is these mages will be inside their own pocket dimension, so you can toss that rail car around all you want. It'll just be that much funner to watch.
Yes, yeah, these things are fun, and loads it. About a minute or two later, you see this black armored train. You can just make it out 2 miles down because it's a straight shot. Come out of one tunnel and start heading across the open area, and the rifle just lets rip. The side of the locomotive actually smashes in, and the entire locomotive bends in half, goes flying off the tracks, and the entire train derails after it.
Well,
That was beautiful.
Those Tosspots kind of deserved it anyway. They'll just remake it anyway.
He ejects the spank cartridge, says, "God, I love those things."
I don't blame you.
Says, "Have fun. I don't go into pocket dimensions. Second car, third door."
Right.
Excellent, thanks.
Away we go.
Hoof it.
Vanessa steps up. Actually, I can get you guys there just a little bit faster.
Yes.
She just draws a circle in the ground and then says, "Everybody stand in the circle."
Okay.
I'll go ahead and do so.
She taps her foot on the edge and says, "Have fun." You guys fall through the circle, through the hedge, and up out of a circle right next to the destroyed train.
whoa.
Oh, that's fun.
More and more, I'm thinking that might be worth it.
Just don't lose yourself in the process. And Wolf approaches the appropriate car.
All right, so you guys head to the second car, the third door on the side of it.
Yep, I knock on it.
It opens. and there's just a void on the other side that you can see leads to that bridge.
Story checks
Are we
out.
allowed in?
You fucking know you're allowed in. Get in here.
Wolf's walking in before she asks.
There's agreements in place. I am not violating them. And she steps in.
I follow. Only after Alex
Same.
does.
The Archmage is standing there in his very nice suit. You put a fucking agreement on me.
Yes, of course I did.
I fucking hate Faye. Since I got notified you completed your end, I assume that means the hole is now fixed and we're not going to have a planet explode?
That is correct. And
Well, at
not
least
in
you
a
get
way,
used to something.
and not in a way that'd be easy for anyone to undo.
Yeah, a railgun shot from orbit. I saw. Remind me never to ask you guys for subtle.
Well,
Well, to be fair, there was an unkillable monstrosity in there.
There's always an unkillable monstrosity or an extra-dimensional horror or... What, did you guys really think you were the only ones out doing shit?
No, of course not.
But my point is, the subtle goes out the window for that.
Yes, well, my people don't need to rely on Michael Bay every 5 seconds. Just saying.
We did have a backup plan, but when somebody offers to nuke a small area for you, you don't generally turn them down.
and especially with
Anyway.
such panache.
Says, I agreed to tell you what we knew about the Golden Fleece.
Correct.
So here's what we know, because you'll actually know I'm telling the truth, because I can't fucking lie to you to your goddamn contract. It was in our possession, at which point we put it in the Library of Alexandria. This was after it was recovered from Greece. When World War II came around and we had the split in our group, it was taken along with a few other artifacts as welcoming gifts for their new bosses. It is no longer, however, in their possession. At the end of World War II, it was captured with quite a few other relics by the Allies. However, it was not kept in their hands for very long either. Long story short, it's currently in the vaults underneath the Vatican.
Ah, excellent. I'm guessing you have no idea how it might be guarded or anything like that.
Ask your boss about the Vatican, and he just motions and you all disappear back out of the train car.
At least again, it's not a volcano.
He couldn't have sent us to a volcano. We were invited guests. This is why I asked for entry.
Yes, even after he told you he couldn't kill you because then it was the other terms of the agreement with Lucifer.
Yes. She remembered. If we had just walked in there after he told us, yeah, he would have had to tell us. But as soon as he told us, he could do whatever he wanted.
Smart man. Again, at that point, he wouldn't have been bound by any contracts as to what he could or couldn't do.
Yep.
Hold on, guys.
Be right back. Water.
Potty break.
And I'm back. Sorry about that. Nora cut her finger open on the cheesecake.
Wait, on the cheesecake itself or like the container?
The container.
Okay. I was about to be very concerned.
Yes, she somehow cut her finger on cheesecake.
But no, the fucking little plastic goddamn container.
No, that I believe. The plastic wrap around it. Finger
Yeah, the
okay?
plastic lid.
It's bleeding, but it'll stop.
It's not a stitches. Got it.
No, it's not stitches.
It's just
pretty
a
good
bit.
length though.
Yeah, it was just a bandage.
Of course, the shock wore off and now it's throbbing. It's like it didn't hurt for like a full minute or so. Zoe. Hi, Zoe. She still has the cutest confused look on her face whenever I
Zoe. Because dogs are for trolling. Hey, Zoe. I love the ear flip.
Aww.
She's a little sweetheart.
All right, so we're all back. So you are all outside of the train now. By the way, the jet now has flown over and is landing next to you.
When it opens up, I'll hop on.
As will I.
He meets you in there. Vanessa and Nathan had work to do, but I'm still here. What'd you guys find out?
It's in the Vatican.
It's Vatican.
Vaults.
Fuck me. No, not an invitation. Points to Nara's character. Yes, invitation.
She rolls her eyes.
It's just unfair. What if I looked like her?
Then that would be really
No.
creepy and I'd throw you out of this plane at 20,000 feet.
Alexis just stares at you and is like, no.
So, yeah, that's problematic, and it really... I would prefer it to be literally anywhere else on the planet. Matter of fact, I'd prefer it to be at the bottom of the Marianas Trench rather than there.
What's wrong with the Vatican?
Well, I imagine that it's probably holy ground, which would create some issues.
It's the main base for angels on Earth.
You know, enemies of our boss.
That would be problematic.
Yeah,
Very
that's where all four archangels tend to hang out. So it is literally in the least accessible place on the planet. We are all touched by Lucifer's energy. If any of us so much as steps foot on the Vatican grounds, they will know we're there. Instantly.
Okay, is it just the archangels that will know we're there?
Every guard in the entire Vatican is actually an angel.
And they would
And
all
every
know.
one of them
and
would
all
know
look for
the exact location we were at all times.
So, walking in the front doors out.
So how do we get that out of there? Better questions. Would they ever take the Golden Fleece out of there? And better yet, could we convince them to? Because we're not going in there, obviously.
What are you gonna say to them to convince them to get the Golden Fleece out of there?
Fuck that, I would give them a reason. Really fuck up one of their really important angels is the best plan I can come up with at this immediate moment. I don't know. The point is they need to get it out of there, and then we take it.
I kind of like the idea of those, anti-angel, anti-demon arrows being used on one of them. I think
That's
that
a
would get the
start.
golden fleece out.
That's a
They
good
let-
start.
Amy speaks up. They'd let the angel die. Trust
So
me,
that
we've
isn't an
killed a
archangel?
dozen of them.
Kennedy
Probably yes.
Raphael or someone like that.
Probably.
Wait, even Raphael?
Though there might be a way to at least negate. We'd have to figure out how to get into Vatican vaults, but there's a way we might be able to deal with the angels knowing we're there. She hollers to the plane. Back to the Swiss Alps.
How in the fuck do we get an angel's touch on us? Huh? Is that what you're going to suggest?
Well,
Actually,
wasn't
an
there a show
old
about it?
amulet.
How old?
Cyrene used to tell us stories about an amulet she had back during a time she split off from Lucifer's team. It would hide her presence as a demon, allowing her to use her abilities without the angels tracking her. Theoretically, that should be able to hide us just as easily, if not easier. We're not actual demons.
Problem is, they would recognize us as not angels, and anyone who is not an angel is probably not allowed there.
Not allowed in the vaults, sure, but there's people that go to the Vatican all the time.
Yeah, think about
Only
it.
as far as I know, only the guards and the higher ups are angels. Most of the priests that go through the Vatican are not actually angels themselves. They just work for them. So as long as we had a very nice black outfit with a white collar,
Are you gonna try on a wimple?
no, I'm not going with you. Because my definition of a nun's outfit wouldn't get me past the front door. I mean, I have one, but it's made out of latex.
I'm gonna need to use the tackle again, aren't I?
Sorry, my brain just failed me. For the
What?
reference?
Wedding tackle.
Oh,
She's probably gonna have to pose as a priest.
So first problem, though, is actually getting that amulet, because we could look like whatever the hell we wanted. If we don't have that amulet, all of us will just instantly be found as soon as we step foot on the grounds. I just hope Lucifer knows where the hell it is, because the only person that used to have it is currently in a stasis field dying.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So you guys fly back to the Swiss Alps. Lucifer's actually waiting for you on the landing pad. He goes, well, I don't see the fleece, so I'm assuming there's been some problems with it.
No, but we know what's in the Vatican's vaults. So, good start, right?
Oh, good. So the one place I couldn't just teleport to go get it.
yep.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I could, but I'd be dead the second I stepped out of teleport. Way around this?
She had a theory. Do you know where the amulet Cyrene had way back in the day when she went off all loner status?
Oh, I'm going to be a badass and use my demon powers amulet. Yeah, I know which one you mean. No, I don't know where it is, unfortunately. She has never told me, and I don't know why. Bright side, I know when she last had it.
And
Just kind of mix this motion and go on motion.
How much do you all like the Wild West?
Never was a real film.
Oh, really?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Really? This is a thing we can do?
He motions, follow me.
He'll follow. She'll follow. Pronouns just got confusing.
So
Speaking
you
third
guys,
person is safer.
you guys enter the lift and head down a few floors. As you step out, like right in front of you is the Ghostbusters car, and right next to it is a very nice vintage DeLorean.
Ha!
Oh, I've seen this
Really?
movie.
What?
Back to the Future. The car that they drive is a DeLorean.
Trevor has seen it. Wolf has not.
Okay.
Have you seen
Really?
Doctor Who? It's a car version.
What?
How has Wolf not seen it?
You know, there's a really long list of movies to see, and some don't get seen.
Lucifer, by the way, is just staring at you. I'm really tempted to fire you for that.
I'm just gonna go over and pat Lucifer. Well, we gotta have one special one in the party.
I've seen other stuff.
It's
Come
a
on, it can't
time
exactly get
travel
seen at the
movie.
office.
It's
watching
not stuff.
a movie.
It's Back to the fucking future.
Can we use a train to get back?
Depends on how you get back.
That's how the movie goes.
Just don't blow up my car.
Wait, you've
I'm
seen
driving-
the movies, right? This car does not have a good track record.
Yes, I'm trying to keep this one functional.
So who's driving?
Already called it.
I know they put the car back together multiple times after it was blown up in various stunts and such, but seriously, they drove real fast and went back in time with this.
Not real fast.
By the way, you see Army sticker head out of the driver's seat in a very slutty cowgirl outfit. Come on, guys!
Well, of course she has to go with us.
You know that outfit is going to get some very different reactions, right?
Not period accurate? Well, they can argue with it if they'd like. More importantly, yes, she's bailed her ass out of multiple situations, so I'm following her. Phrasing, and then he gets in the car.
Does a DeLorean even have enough seats for all of us?
Somehow.
Magically, this one does.
Duh.
Because it's.
Lucifer says, don't worry too much about the outfits. The car generates a perception filter. Everyone will see you as period correct. Mostly
Oh,
because
because-
every time we've gone back in time, I've tried for weeks to get Ayami to dress in something period accurate, and finally I just gave up and put a fucking filter on the car.
Besides, they're looking at a car, right?
They won't see the car.
What do they see?
Nothing. They literally will not see it.
We're Wonder Woman.
By the way, just do not let anyone actually run into it. If they physically make contact, the filter goes to shit.
Got it.
And then you have to explain to Wyatt Earp how the hell a car that can travel through time exists.
A wizard did it.
It's always a fucking wizard, if not a wizard Nazi.
I promise you, the wizard did it is a terrible, terrible answer.
For where we're going, you're not wrong. And then he slams the door shut behind him.
And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Woo!
In a DeLorean about to go back to the Wild West.
The plot of Back to the Future 2.
To find a charm, to break into the Vatican, to steal the Golden Fleece out from under an archangel's nose.
Not
Slightly different than the plot of Back to the Future 2. Oh my god, I just realized. If the car breaks down, at least two of us will get back.
Taking the long way?
Taking the long way, two of us can get back.
Yeah. I can't wait that long.
I suppose you're not one of them, Trevor.
That would be Nora and Ryan can get back taking the long way.
Yep. Lots of waiting. In one person's case, dying a few times. But
And
still
I
waiting.
I would have to become full Fae. Otherwise, I'd be like a 90-year-old when I got back.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But yeah, if you became full Fae, you could easily get back, because Fae don't age.
Yep.
And Sin Eaters don't either.
Yeah, technically they're timeless, I think. Because they're
Oh.
technically dead.
It's the idea that, you basically keep healing the damage to your body's cells.
Wolverine.
The better accurate statement is the damage to your cells never actually occurs. Because the Geist keeps all damage away as best it can, and it can keep the degradation of your cell's death away. No cell ever dies in a Sin Eater. Like, they don't shed skin cells or anything. No cell dies in a Sin Eater.
Creepy, but cool.
So, yes, Ryan and Nara could take the long way back if they had to.
Yep.
And you all gain 8 EXP for today.
Hooray!
Granted, once you have the necklace, you still have to figure out how to do Ocean's... Wait, this is a fucking Angel Vault?